What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Your boy is back. Man, I feel good. I feel great. You look great today. Yeah, I feel good too. Man, some of y'all just don't get it. It's okay. That's why I get paid the big bucks. We're going to talk about it yet again. Time and time again. We'll continue to talk about it. I need y'all to smash the like button. You know, I just don't get it. Last year I was nobody. This year I'm selling records. Now everybody want to come around like I owe them something. Fuck you want from me? $10 million? Fuck out of here. We gonna talk about it. Ego needs to be in the boxing YouTube Hall of Fame. I don't think they got one for YouTube. Just put me in the regular. Listen, this is no disrespect. Listen, y'all hear me? Straight out Kelly. If Sylvester Stallone is in the Boxing Hall of Fame, you could just put me in there right now. And I love Sly. But he's in the Boxing Hall of Fame for acting like a boxer. I'm covering the whole sport of boxing for years. Top level, we doing numbers. We interviewing fighters. We in the gym. Like, this is different. I love Sly Stallone, but come on, bro. This is different. This is a different level of dedication. He did a movie role. So if Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa get to be in there, motherfucker, I'm in there. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rain. I could do that. See, look. I could do the Rocky Balboa. Put me in that motherfucker. Nah, listen, I just did what he did. I'm the new Rocky Balboa. I'm Ego Balboa. Put me in there. Look, I just did what he did. Smash the like button. I'll show you again. I could do what he just did. Listen. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbow. It's a mean and cruel place, and it'll beat you there if you let it. Nothing is going to hit it hard. See? Put me in the Hall of Fame. I'm Hall of Fame worthy. I must be the greatest. MVP. Yeah, but can you cry for Mick like Rocky? Man, I do all that. I lift the wagon with the people in it. Drag up! I do all that. Man, come on. Y'all know I'm versatile. I'm eating these mini cookies. Let me tell you about these cookies. I got oatmeal raisin, and it's mighty tasty. Huh. Huh, huh. Let me eat these cookies. He said you gotta hate on great black boxers to get in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, like Lampley. The Black Channel. Why do you guys like Jamal Charlo? Hey, old media get crucified. Hey, old media getting clapped up, bro. They losing all their little soldiers. Get the lights on. Bro, old media getting crucified. Hey, old media, you got to do something, baby. That's hilarious. Let's get these lights up. Man, Skip Bayless always be hating. We just warming the mic up. Let's get the likes up. We don't care about a hater. We don't care if they like us. Listen, I said I had to cut the mic up. We just warming the mic up. I need y'all to get the likes up. We don't care who hate us. We don't care if they like us. Underworld like lichens. Striking like Vikings. Or Vicodin. I'm writing like a Viking striking off a Vicodin. Bars, hold on. Let me get this. I said I might strike like lightning in the Viking off Vicodin anytime that I'm writing. My pen is penicillin. I've been killing. I've been spilling. Man, stop. Hold on. Bars. I said the pen been spilling. That's penicillin. Hold on. Let me cut my alert off. Let's go. Those cookies are pretty good. They don't want to buy our records, but they got to buy our records because we represent the streets. Yeah. Outlaw Immortal. One Nation. Tony, they be hating. YouTube been hating, bro. Man. YouTube been hating. That's just what it is. Bro. The Boxing Eagle watch party did over 1.2 million minutes watched. The number's climbing. And they ain't sending out notifications. Ain't that something? A day later, and I'm still grinding. Block Maynard Williams. Do we got any shooters in the building? We got to get Maynard. Nah, I'm not arguing with a motherfucker named Maynard. That sound like a duck. Nah, get him out of here. Yeah, I'm not. I refuse to argue with a motherfucker named Maynard. You shouldn't even be watching this. You can't be young with that name. That motherfucker named Maynard. He's 69 years old. Stop it. Hold on. I ain't got no shooters? Okay. Can't send a boy to do a man's job. I got to get him. Block him. Gotta go. I wish I would waste my time arguing with. Oh, there's Icy. Hey, bro, Icy. Just on time. I just blocked him. Some dude named Maynard was, I guess, I don't know. He was trying to roast or something. So we had to show him the exit. We had to hit him with the Matumbo. I hope you had a good day at work, Icy. Now, let's get the likes up. Errol Spence is a star. Errol Spence is a star. You know, I'm pretty warmed up. I'm ready to go. I see a lot of people, and you guys can do whatever you want. Hey, I see you wildin'. Y'all can do what you want, but listen. My goal in boxing is, you know, to have fun with it, but always maintain a sense of reality, realism, facts over fiction. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. The problem with this internet, and I blame myself. Listen, I'm gonna tell you why. Because I pioneered boxing in this digital space. I'm not saying I was the only one that picked up a mic, but you know the channel, we influential. Like, I seen the game before I got in the game, and I seen it now, years later, after I feel like I made my mark like Zorro. You see what I'm saying? So I see people who switched up their styles. Like, before I came in the game, certain styles of thumbnails weren't prevalent in boxing on YouTube. This is just a fact. Because I studied, seen what people was doing, and I went my own way. You know what I mean? So I blame myself, because at the end of the day, we influential. A lot of people are impressionable. A lot of people they're unoriginal, so they tend to copy. You know, let's get the likes up. So the problem with boxing is there's so many people, and the internet's a powerful tool, but you got to be careful because there's no accountability. It just gives everybody an outlet. Everybody has a voice. Everybody. When I first started on YouTube, there wasn't so many voices. And in fact, there was channels that were here before me, you know, but most of them didn't do what I was doing. Ego, you sold out, bro. That's what's up. Block him. That's what's up. Let me be a sellout. But you blocked. Bang! Icy. Boss Red, get rid of this boy. Yeah, I sold out. The money keep coming in. Wait, when they hate donate, the money gonna come. Don't you worry. He said I sold out. All right. Next. Listen. Pioneered this game. When I was in YouTube, when I first started, there was people before me, but they was in their own lane, you know, like covering fights and weigh-ins and chasing fighters and stuff like that. Me, I ain't have that. I didn't have the direct access to a gym, you know, where I would just have exclusive access and interview Freddie Roach and shit. You know, I didn't have these different things. So I made my own lane like I always do. I'm a Bay Area hustler. You feel me? You did. Yee. This is what we do. I see they just be saying whatever. He said sold out to who? I don't know. I didn't even try to really reason with it. I just wanted him blocked. So I don't know. He said Ellie doing Triple G impressions too. Never heard that. I don't know. But I don't watch a lot of boxing. But shout out to Ellie. Anyway, when I came in this space, there was a certain way of people were doing stuff. You know, I came in, put my own flavor in it, start doing my thumbnails and titles a certain way, start going live. Like, bro, I was probably the first person in boxing for real. Cause I remember, I think I actually was the first person who would routinely go live. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when YouTube said, hey, you could go live, I was like literally, cause first of all, they tested it on my channel. Like sometimes when YouTube rolls things out, when they roll new things out, they don't just give it to everybody. They give it to popular creators. So I know for a fact some people didn't even have the live functionality. I was the one going live, bro. So you guys gotta, you know, we'll just pay homage. It is what it is. But back to what I was saying, this internet is powerful, but there's a lot of people inspired. They see, oh, Ego get cash apps and make money going to fights and knowing fighters and stuff, all good. But that's why I tell y'all, often imitated, never duplicated. There's a lot of people, I start doing the Boxing Ego watch party. Everybody got a watch party now, right? But the difference is you got to respect the sport of boxing. You got to actually know what you talking about. Some people, anybody could do a watch party. You know what I'm saying? But you watching the fight, if your breakdowns ain't on point, like you way off the mark, you know what I'm saying? People gonna know that. So I didn't like people. I be giving gems on my channel and shit, but people don't want to listen. So the first thing you have to do is protect the sport, talk with some common sense, you know, be reasonable, be rational, unbiased, things like that. Things like that. So anyone could do a watch party, but that don't make you know what the fuck you talking about. You see what I'm saying? Prince, what's up? Anyone could do a watch party. That don't mean that you know what you're talking about. And part of why people watch my watch party, BWP, and we doing the numbers we doing, God willing, is because I've developed this rapport. I'm not perfect. I don't get everything right. But God damn it, my accuracy rating is looking kind of nice. So just be careful where you get the information. Now, I said all that to cut in and lead into Terence Crawford, Errol, Spence. This is the prime epitome of everything I just said, in the form of be careful who you get your information from. There are a lot of people, and they COINTELPRO. They don't know what they talking about. They can't explain what they talking about. They have a standard for this fight that is not the standard for any other fight or fighter, aka the double standards. I need y'all to get the likes up because we starting to get burned. I see new people keep joining the chat, but the likes are barely going up. These people are definitely agent provocateurs. COINTELPRO. Again, we'll talk about it. I have no problem with Terence Crawford. He's a great fighter, ambidextrous. My only suggestion is for him to wake up and smell the coffee and be ambidextrous with his business, because that's what it all comes down to. Money's not the only thing. It's everything. You got to manage your brand, your business, your integrity of that. As a fighter, he could very well beat Errol Spence. Errol Spence could very well beat him. I don't know. What I've been saying has nothing to do with a fight prediction. You know why? Because we won't get a fight at this current juncture unless some things change. I really believe that. And it probably stems from Terence Crawford's side. You know why? Because he lacks leverage. So when I'm telling you this stuff about the business, I dare you. I dare you. I double dog dare you to tell me I am wrong with factual proof when I continue to show receipts. How you gonna prove me wrong? I'm showing you the receipts. I'm doing the homework for you. How you gonna prove me wrong? So my man said Terence Crawford need to hire a PR publicist, but he already has one. But, you know, they can't be in charge of your every move and all that. So it is what it is. Someone said a stylist. Hey, y'all wrong. Anyway, so I'm talking about the business. Terence Crawford is not the A side. There's no way he's the A side over Errol Spence. And a lot of these fake ass fans with these double standards, they all, they blaming Errol and PBC. But this is why it's bullshit. Here's why it's bullshit. How you blaming the A side because the B side ain't making the moves that they need to? When only to African American black fighters do you see these double standards in so much vivid color? For example, Canelo, it is a pretty much written rule that outside of Floyd Mayweather, Canelo versus anybody is the A side. That's it. If he's not fighting Floyd in a rematch, which we know is not going to happen because they're in different weights and Floyd's fighting Logan Paul or whatever, right? Abandon every piece of logic. What's up with H-Town, John Malone? Let's get it, man. Some of y'all out of pocket. Shout out to John Malone, H-Town. Shooting them rocket. H-Town, Rocket, Houston, Rocket. Man, come on. Bars, let's get it. I said some of y'all out of pocket. Shout out to my man, John Malone. We shooting them rockets. H-Town, Houston. They know to get down. So, hear me out. Everything that they argue for, they being old media, for guys like Canelo Alvarez, when it's apparent that Errol Spence in this given situation is the Canelo Alvarez, aka the A side, over Crawford, now they want to play fucking dumb. Ain't that a bit? Ain't that something, y'all? Now they want to play dumb. So when Canelo, when you go to fight Canelo, if he wants you to do a punk ass rehydration clause, if he want to walk out second, if he want the lion's share of the money, if he want, you to get his brand tattooed on his back, you got to do whatever you can to try to get a Canelo fight. But now when it is apparent that Errol Spence has dominated the conversation in terms of A side, not skill, they're both skilled, but in terms of popularity, and he's amassed these accolades, especially at welterweight, where they would fight. Now Crawford diehard fans want to play dumb and old media wants to play dumb, right? Like Spence is ducking because of the politics of boxing and the standard A-side rules applies. It's a bad take. It's a bad take. Errol Spence demanding the lion's share, that's not ducking. He's earned that. He's earned that. So if he gets Floyd asked for the lion's share over Pacquiao. He said, and you know what? This is crazy. If we're talking when Mayweather and Pacquiao first were in negotiations, in my honest opinion, Floyd was always the A side. But hear me out. Floyd was always the A side. Y'all got to get these damn likes up. It's going to be a short stream. I'm just going to tell you like that. If y'all can't get these likes up, it's going to be a much shorter stream than some of you guys are thinking. I don't do charity work. I don't care if it's a smaller crowd, but we got enough people and it keeps climbing. People keep joining. So y'all got to get them likes up. Y'all got to do that. So listen to my point. When Floyd Mayweather was fighting Pacquiao, hold on, we got a Cash App. D Cheeks Jr. He sent $1.64. Cash App on the screen. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Much love. $ Boxing Ego. It's on the screen. Yeah, let's get the likes up. When Mayweather fought Pacquiao, or when they were first in negotiations, Floyd was always the A side. We knew this, right? He was always the A side. But Pacquiao at least had a leg to stand on to try to fake it. Block It's Ron 91. How about that? Pacquiao at least had a leg to stand on because he had done in his own right. He was doing pay-per-views. He was doing pretty big fights with Juan Manuel Marquez or Marco Antonio Barrera, Eric Morales, Hatton, guys like that. So he had at least amassed his own following. He had a country behind him and stuff like that. And he had probably sold at the time, whenever it was, 2008 or whatever, when he's afraid of needles and all that, he had probably sold 1 million or close to 1 million on pay-per-view at that time, right? But Terence Crawford, this is not even a Pacquiao Mayweather situation where Floyd's clearly the A side, but Pacquiao's holding his own in terms of he was beating De La Hoyas and Hattons and Cottos and stuff like that, and Barreras and Eric Morales and the rematch, stuff like that. So he was like clearly holding his own in his own right, even though Floyd was above him. This Errol shit and Terence Crawford, that's why you see in the title. This shit is not even negotiable. The moves that PBC, the moves that Team Errol Spence, the moves that Derek James, the moves that Al Heyman and whoever else is working with him, the moves they are making far outweigh anything in Terence Crawford and his camp and his side of the street and his network and his promotion, etc., have been doing to positively impact Terence Crawford's brand. Baraya. Mia Baraya. Go back like babies were pacified. No, I'm just playing. Appreciate your analytical evidence-based approach to boxing with some personality. The more you know. Appreciate you. Bro, this is not even negotiable. I'm not talking about Crawford the fighter. Get this through your head. It's not about Crawford the fighter or who wins the fight and just make the fight. No. Business does not work like this. Errol Spence and the PBC have made Errol Spence into a star. Top Rank and ESPN have not made Terence Crawford into a star. So in essence, one person is fighting the better talent, especially at 147, and being put in the positions that empower you and grant you leverage. You guys follow me so far? Let's get the likes up. Crawford is definitely, his moves that his team has made is second fiddle. For example, I'll give you a couple. Oh, I'm feeling like Mayweather. I'm feeling surgical. I know I'm breaking this down. I'm feeling surgical. Hold on. You know I'm surgical with this bitch. Jake, I'm surgical right now. Listen. Danny knocked out Amir Khan at 140 years ago. Then Khan got knocked out again by Canelo. Khan came back after a year and a half and a surgery. Didn't really do shit. He fought Phil LaGreco. It was a 40-second fight, so it wasn't really much to judge. Oh, yeah, that's right. Phil LaGreco, when Errol was coming up, had already fought Errol Spence, and Errol Spence knocked him out too, right? These guys are all connected. So Amir Khan, after getting brutally knocked out by I was born ready, Canelo, the only thing he did was fight Phil LaGreco for 40 seconds and beat him. Errol had already knocked Phil LaGreco out, and he had a YouTube cooking channel. Then Amir Khan came back and fought Samuel Vargas. Oh, that's right. That's another person that Errol Spence Jr. had previously fought, and you guys said Errol was fighting bums on his way up because, you know, he couldn't get the big fights until he started getting to the Chris Algerian and started getting better. Bundu started getting better. But when he was fighting Phil LaGreco, you said he was fighting bums. When Errol was fighting Samuel Vargas and knocking these guys out, you said he's fighting bums. So how in the fuck does Amir Khan get brutally knocked out by Canelo, take a year plus off, have surgery and injuries and all this stuff, and fight, in essence, Errol Spence leftovers, and then he gets a Crawford pay-per-view? And then he gets paid $7 million is what was reported. But Top Rank don't have $10 million for Keith Thurman. These are the business moves, people. So I don't know what Top Rank and ESPN thought how that was going to boost or bolster Crawford's brand. But Amir Khan, after the Canelo fight, really didn't do shit but fight guys that Errol Spence had already beat. In addition, Amir Khan was also knocked out by Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia just fought Errol Spence yesterday and got tore up, and his face looked jacked up. So Amir Khan, I could keep going. Crawford always talks about, oh, you're not a fighter, you don't know boxing media. I'm boxing media. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I can't speak for whoever, but everything I'm saying, go look it up. Box Record, Wikipedia it. Lamont Peterson also holds a win over Amir Khan. Danny Garcia also holds a win over Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson also lost to Lucas Matisse, who Danny Garcia beat. Errol Spence beat Lamont Peterson. I know they say I talk a little fast. If you listen real fast, I ain't got to slow down for you catch up. Listen, I'm going to say it again. This is all fact. So you got to write this down, pause the video, smash the like button. Amir Khan lost to Lamont Peterson at home when Amir Khan was a champion. Danny Garcia has a win over Amir Khan. Danny Garcia has a win over Lamont Peterson. Errol Spence has a win over Lamont Peterson, right? Crawford later fought Khan after all those fights. Errol Spence has a win over Sean Porter. Sean Porter beat Devin Alexander. Devin Alexander is probably Khan's best win at welterweight. So Crawford has been set up to fail pretty much since he got to 147. Khan is losing to Peterson. Peterson's losing to Danny, got tore up by Lamont Peterson, and Lucas Matisse, who Danny also beat. Errol Spence and Danny later fought, and Errol beat all of them. So Errol kind of reigned supreme. Danny beat Matisse, who beat Peterson. Danny beat Peterson. Peterson beat Amir Khan. And then Errol just beat Lamont Peterson, beat Kell Brook, beat Sean Porter, and yesterday beat Danny Garcia. I'm going off of what it says. It was a close fight. Lamont Peter, block trill number is 47. I'm not even arguing with you. Pull up his box rec. You're not going to distract what I'm talking about. Because if that's the case, Sean Porter could have lost to Danny Garcia. I had Danny Garcia winning, and I was at the fight live. So if we play in that game, Triple G lost to Derevchenko. We can do this all day. Stop playing with me. So I'm not going to let him distract because I've been real sharp and real focused. Anyway, Amir Khan, the victory at the point in which Crawford fought him on pay-per-view, the numbers block the casual fan. We ain't doing shit. We don't know you. Block them. Let me keep cooking. No, it's not about triangle theories, but in the 140 to 147 who's who of boxing, we're going through the lineage to see who fought who beat who. Errol Spence, line them up. He beating all of the people and beating good guys that beat good guys that beat Amir Khan. And this is, bro, listen to what I'm saying. Crawford is being set up to fail. Crawford's only pay-per-view since he entered welterweight is Amir Khan. And Amir Khan was 2 fights removed and one bad performance with Samuel Vargas, who Errol Spence trashed, right? Why would Top Rank and ESPN and Team Crawford put that as a pay-per-view? Is that a pay-per-view worthy fight? But meanwhile, Errol, after an accident, blocked Zay Avenue. Block him too. You should have stayed silent. We gonna block you too. Shout out to Business Brain. He already knew what time I was on. Class is in session. Any distractions, yeah, you getting blocked. Yo, smash the like button, please. Crawford has been set up to fail because Stevie Wonder could have told you that Khan fight at that point was not finna sell crazy volumes of viewership or whatever, pay-per-view buys. Oh, y'all getting blocked. He said, are you going to block me too? My man Business Brain blocked him too. Yeah, I like that. Business Brain, he on y'all. Yeah. You getting blocked. Listen, we're having a chill session and I'm taking y'all to school and we still getting them. They still coming in and getting blocked. So, all in all, nobody has been able to explain, my bad, my allergies, or illustrate how Crawford is the A side. The only thing that Crawford fans or whoever's saying it, old media is saying, is forget all of this A side talk, right? The only thing they can do, because they know the boy ego is the truth and everything I'm saying is actual fact. So the only thing they could do is say, come on, are you a real boxing fan or what? Shut up, just make the fight. But these same people don't tell Canelo to stop all the games and fight Charlo. Stop all the rehydration clauses and fight Charlo. Go back down to 160 and fight Charlo. Fight Demetrius Andrade when y'all was on DAZN. Fight David Benavidez. Don't pick on Kovalev, who was on a quick turnaround. Fight better be if. So we're not playing your game. A-side rules, and you know it. So now when Errol Spence is the defined A-side, now they want to say, shut up. Oh, are you a boxing fan? You know, let's forget about all this A-side nonsense. When Floyd was the man in power, Pacquiao the man in power, Canelo the man in power, whoever, right? These A-side rules existed. If Crawford is the A-side fighter in his equations, like over Mean Machine, he get the more money. But now they want to hurry up and speed past all of this because they know Errol Spence is a bigger star than Terence Crawford. Fuck who wins the fight. I'm talking about star power. They know Errol has been branded. Their PBC is doing a better job of trying to make this black African-American fighter, Errol Spence, big fish, man down, a thing, a household name. ESPN and Top Rank have not done an equal job to make Terence Crawford a thing. Trail Boxing Talk, representing Texas. Check him out. Great stuff, ego. We are just talking about the business. Appreciate you. We are just talking about the business. Errol Spence, he keeps saying the big fish because he is the big fish. He fought the better names. Bro, this is common. Who graduated elementary school? Who graduated elementary school? And I know some of you are scratching your head like, what do you mean graduated elementary school? Yeah, because I'm going to do some basic math. What's greater, 1 or 2? What's a higher number, 1 or 2? Let me know in the comment section. I'm about to torch y'all. I'm about to torture and torch y'all. What is a greater number, 1 or 2? Shout out to Killer. Shout out to Niter. Shout out to Ben. Exactly. The number 2 is greater than the number 1. You guys said you graduated elementary school, and everybody that answered correctly said 2 is greater than 1. Errol Spence has 2 belts. Not 1, but 2. He got the second belt fighting Shawn Porter. Crawford has 1 belt. And he got that belt his first fight at welterweight versus Jeff Horn, who really didn't beat Pacquiao. Shawn Porter is a credible welterweight name. So as you guys can see in today's math lesson, 2 is greater than 1. One guy has 2 belts. This is only one fraction. I'm not saying this is the entire complete picture, but this is one fraction of why Errol Spence is the big fish. Shawn Porter is the guy Errol Spence fought to unify to get that second belt. A respected guy with respected names on his resume. Kell Brook, Broner, Danny, Keith. These are all before he fought Errol Spence. You guys. And so on and so forth. Jeff Horn's only real good name is Pacquiao, a fight he really should have lost. Which is why Teddy Atlas lost his job on ESPN, because he was ranting about it. Man, y'all getting cooked. Y'all getting cooked. Y'all getting cooked. So we all just discern 2 is better than 1. 2 is a greater number than 1. Errol has 2 belts. Errol has more welterweight names that we know and respect on his resume. This is a fact. Danny, Lamont, Kel, Shawn, right? Crawford does not. It's very easy. So we can't overlook and omit the information that we have to just say, shut up, F all that. Let's just make the fight. Because again, my friends, that is not how business works. So if The Rock, let's say Hollywood wants to make Jumanji 3. Dwayne The Rock Johnson has been making millions of dollars in blockbusters in Hollywood and is in Jumanji 1 and 2. If they want to put me in the third movie and I don't have the same background as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who's going to get more money? Do you think I have a case when, I got a pretty popular YouTube channel, but my lifestyle and my YouTube channel doesn't compare to The Rock? So if they were filming Jumanji 3, who's going to get top billing? Who's going to get the lion's share of the money? You know the answer to this. It would be The Rock. He's done more, he's bankable, and he's proven. We've seen this in Hollywood. The guys, action stars that was put like Will Smith, Tom Cruise, the reason they were the most bankable male actors in Hollywood is because they were consistently putting out the movies that were generating the revenue and the crowd. Will Smith, Bad Boys. Will Smith, Independence Day. Will Smith, Enemy of the State. Will Smith, Bad Boys 2, and so on and so forth. Ali. That's why Will Smith, Men in Black. I could keep doing it. Will got bodies on his resume. I Am Legend. That's why Will Smith has been, and a TV show that's classic, in West Philadelphia, born and raised, and the music sales. So you factor this in and say, okay, Will's that dude. The guys like his music. The Summertime's a classic song. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, people are buying seasons 1 through 6. Men in Black, Independence Day, Bad Boys are all hits. We got to pay the man. Tom Cruise, same thing. Mission Impossible 1 through whatever. Enemy of the State is a raw movie. I got to watch that again. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's how you become a bankable star. Right now, The Rock got the, he got the torch. He doing the big movies. Whether you like The Rock or not or whatever, that's what it is. He got the torch. So why are we playing this game for Terence Crawford and acting like Terence Crawford has somehow amassed a better welterweight resume or more exposure or popularity? Not to get off topic, but I hated Crawford's shirt and Porter's shoes. Hey, you out of pocket. You out of pocket for that. It is simple business. And the only people who are trying to skip past this and graze past it are the people that don't want to give Errol his props. Usually people that don't like black fighters and hate the black fighters, old media writers that ain't never got nothing nice to say about Errol, black fighters like the Charlos, PBC, anti-PBC, don't like a black man in position like Al Heyman. That's usually the people who are the ones pushing this double standard. So you understand it's not even just about Crawford. There's a lot of people who are faking this. Like, I expect Crawford's family to go to bat for him. That's cool. That's your family. My family go bat for me or whatever. But I'm talking about, like, there's a lot of energy from boxing and they trying to play this game, but you can't play this game with me. I've been in the game too long. We see it. Canelo, he always the A side and he always does A side things. You know why? He got the fight with Mayweather. He did whatever crowd with Liam Smith. He sold Madison Square out. So Jacobs, you want to fight him, these are Canelo's terms. Kovalev, you want to fight him, these are his terms, whether we like it or not. And ironically enough, Errol Spence is a real dog. Funny at that. You got a black fighter, he a real dog. He's not even asking for no crazy Canelo rehydration, you got to do vampire facial. He ain't even asking for nothing crazy. He said, I'll fight him. We got to sit down at the table, but me getting the lion's share sounds legit, seems legit, pretty much. So that's not even asking Crawford to, weigh in butt naked and do the Tootsie Roll. He not asking Crawford for nothing crazy. You see what I'm saying? But ESPN and Max Kellerman, all these dudes, they trying to force feed this Crawford shit. I really, listen, the bottom line is I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, but he hasn't pulled his weight in the welterweight picture. Everybody else is doing heavy lifting. Like, imagine. Here's I'll give you an example. Shout out to John Malone, $5. Appreciate you. He said, appreciate that shout out. Oh yeah, H-Town. Spence needs to retire Manny. That's going to really be worse for Crawford if Spence get Manny, but that's a good point. Before Crawford, Bud needs to prove his worthiness at 147 and fight Porter, H-Town repping. See, that's what I'm saying. Crawford, listen, this gonna get bloody. It's about to get bloody. Listen, it's about to get bloody. After all of this internal thinking, because of what Crawford said, it has me rethinking. And the more I start thinking, see, y'all was better off not even saying nothing and nobody would have worried about it. You know what I'm saying? But like, since people kept saying things, they've kind of inadvertently overstayed their welcome. You see what I'm saying? So it got me thinking, and the more I think about it, we don't know how Terence Crawford, as good as he looks with the eye test, we do not know how he would look with a Gary Russell Jr., a Sean Porter. And I know Gary Russell's little, but I'm saying they didn't fight. They had all that back and forth, didn't fight. Yeah, people favor him. And it's not, please don't make this about that one fight. But I'm just saying at a high level, we don't know how Crawford would look versus you guys. We don't know how he'll look versus Porter. I'm not just saying Gary Russell only. That's the point. The Rock and Will Smith comparison was spot on. Business is business, no matter the occupation. That's what I'm saying. And now people want to bypass it because things aren't in their favor. Bro, I'm starting to have questions of what type of fights we would even get out of lesser fights than Errol, Spence, and Crawford. And when I say lesser, is non-unifications. I haven't seen Crawford in there with the you guys. I haven't seen Crawford in there with somebody. You guys is on a tear. He looked good versus Omar Figueroa. He beat Ramos. He beat my boy Mike Dallas Jr. I thought he beat Sean Porter, to be honest. He's on a little bit of a tear. We haven't even seen Crawford fight someone that has that type of momentum. Name someone that Crawford fought at welterweight that had activity like you guys and the performances you guys has had. And if you say something stupid, I'm going to pull up the box rec and then we're going to clap you because I know you lying. Name somebody that was on a good tear like that. And please don't say Jeff Horn because you really going to get tore up. No, real question. Name somebody that had momentum like a you guys. He stepped up to the Sean Porter champ level. I thought he beat Sean Porter, to be honest. And Sean, that's my guy. I thought he should have got a knockdown. And they didn't give it to him. Bro, name somebody with a UGAS level activity and momentum and skill that he beat. Kell Brook, you can't say him. He hadn't fought at welterweight since 2017. And he looked horrible versus 2 fights ago before Crawford versus Michael Zarafa. Who else? Benavidez, he got shot in the leg. And he had 2 fights in like 27 months or something crazy. Who else he fight? You can't say Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn wasn't on no tear of looking. Bro, watch. You don't know boxing. Who cares? Loma was rolling and lost to a kid. Okay, what does that have to do with it? What do you mean? Who cares? But Loma is a product of Top Rank in ESPN marketing. I never said Loma was the Ross. So that's a dumb comment. That don't even make sense. Loma, first of all, we're not even talking about Loma or Teofimo. But since you brought it up, Lomachenko, I've been told y'all that was going to happen. If they matched him with somebody like a Mikey Garcia or Teofimo. So, that eliminates that real quick. But back to Crawford. Who said Ugas was good? Oh, okay. I'm not even finna go back and forth with you, bro. Who said Ugas was good? Bro, he arguably beat. Oh, wow. You way off the mark. So he said, so you basing it off of the eye test as opposed to what? What am I supposed to base it off a reading test? Like what hold on. You said I'm basing it off the eye test. What else would I base it off of? I don't even get that. What else can you base something off? The taste test? What other test is there? I don't even understand that statement. Well, based off the eye test, Crawford a guy. Oh, wow. You were way off the mark. Okay. So let me slaughter your logic. You guys fought a top guy in Sean Porter, and I just told you I thought he beat him. So you're comparing Crawford at welterweight is saying the eye test or whatever lane you're trying to go. But I just told you I've watched you guys fight top guy. He stopped Ray Robinson, who beat Crawford in the amateurs, since you know boxing. So Ray Robinson beat Crawford in the amateurs. I thought he beat Mean Machine the fight before he fought Crawford. Right? So Ray Robinson, he's a solid guy. Beat Crawford in the amateurs. I really think if politics weren't involved and they weren't saving Mean Machine for Crawford, Mean Machine should have lost that fight and Josh Kelly should have lost to Ray Robinson. You guys stopped him. Then I just told you that more politics, I think you guys beat Sean Porter and didn't get credit for a knockdown. You're bringing up Crawford's eye test, but what I'm saying is at welterweight, what eye test? Name someone that's as good as you guys from the eye test that Crawford has fought in 2020. So Kell Brook in his prime, yes, he was good. But how can Kell Brook be from the eye test? Bro, Kell Brook can't even pass an eye test. Oh my God, bro. You guys got to stop. Bro, Kell Brook can't pass an eye test. So, like, literally, his eyes is fucked up. So, I know he didn't pass. So, who? Man, oh, my God. And that's bars. He said, based on the eye test, Kell Brook can't pass an eye test. How about that? How about that? He can't even pass a literal eye test. You know, you go to DMV, you be like, AZP. EQ? This man can't even pass a literal eye test himself. So throw that out the window. Who else? Name someone as good as you guys, in your opinion. You guys is ranked, and he's a mandatory. And he arguably beat Crawford in the amateurs based on people who witnessed that fight. Name someone as good as you guys that Crawford has fought at welterweight. Mr. Eye Test. Jeff Horn, he passed the eye test. Bro, he was getting slapped by Pacquiao. He lost that fight. Bro, you looking shaky. Come on, man. Listen, I'm ready. I'm ready to debate these things. I just told you my platform, and now I don't see no responses. Bro, if you don't look like you can hang, you don't look like you can hang with the rationale that I'm spitting, because I don't see your comments anymore. Bro, Kell Brook can't pass an eye test himself. He's not. So how did Kell Brook pass the eye test? He looked like shit versus Michael Zarafa 2 fights before he fought Crawford, 1 or 2 fights before he fought Crawford. And then the last guy he fought was some guy nobody's ever heard of. So basically, his last semi-decent name that Kell Brook fought before Crawford, he looked bad. The UK commentators were saying that Kell Brook needs to retire. So how is Kell Brook in 2020? Like, bro, people were hoping Kell Brook was the same fighter. Man, you looking bad out here, bro. People were hoping that Kell Brook was the same fighter, what he's always showed you. He fought Mark DeLuca before Crawford, and he stopped him. Who is that? And before that, he looked bad, and the UK commentators were telling him to retire. Oh, you looking bad. Just because you never heard of them don't mean they can't fight. I never said that's why he can't fight. You tell me who. Okay, so tell me Mark DeLuca's best win. Tell me Mark DeLuca. No. You don't try to throw DeLuca on me. Name Mark DeLuca's best win in the next 20 seconds. Name Mark DeLuca. Since he's so good, tell me his best win. You can't win this, bro. Name Mark DeLuca's best win. Since you love that Kel performance so much. You're not going to win. Please tell me Mark DeLuca's best win. You loved him so much. So tell me. Look. Tell me his best win. This man look like Captain Kirk in the Star Trek reboot and shit. Like, who is that? Okay, I'm on his record since you won't say it. Before he fought Kell Brook, he fought Brandon Brewer, Jimmy Williams, Walter Wright. So he lost to Walter Wright with a record of 16-4 and had to rematch him to beat him. Ramses Agaton with a 27-3 record. Anthony Link with a 15-4 record. Chris Chapman. So you said just because you've never heard of them doesn't mean that they're not good. So tell me how Mark DeLuca was good, since you know so much. I don't know any of those people. Oh, you all over the place. Now you're saying Errol put him in his top 5. No, we on DeLuca. See, this is why I can't talk boxing with people, because you see how they bounce around. Once they can't answer the question, they just jump to the next question. Now you're saying Errol put him in his top 5. I never said Bud was a bad fighter, so I don't even know what that doesn't explain Mark DeLuca, who Kell Brook was fighting. Okay, how do you know Kell Brook? Listen, how do you know that Kell Brook was a potent welterweight, seeing how he hadn't fought at welterweight in 3 years? And his last fight at welterweight, he got stopped by Errol. Go. Please just answer that question. How do you know Kell Brook was the same fighter at welterweight, seeing how he hadn't fought at welterweight in 3 years, and his last welterweight fight was a stoppage? I know Kell in his prime is a good fighter, but how do you know he was still that same fighter since he hadn't fought at that weight class in 3 years? Go. Man, it's getting silent all of a sudden. Bro, you can't win with emotion. Only logic. How do you know Kell was the same fighter at welterweight, seeing how he didn't fight at welterweight since 2017, and then he fought again at welterweight in 2020? See? You see how long it takes? This is why I stopped doing the hot seat, bro. Everybody wants to debate me and all that, but then I tell you clear, concise, we seen it in the first 3 rounds. That doesn't even answer the question, though. That doesn't answer the question. And so he was the same fighter, but okay, your comments are really too ignorant. I'm not even going to waste too much more time on this, bro. So he got hit with one shot and it was over for him pretty much, and then Crawford jumped on him. But Golovkin hit him at 160 in his prime, and he never touched canvas. And he was still trying to fight back. Like, really? So Golovkin being a heavy-handed 160 bigger guy, he never dropped Kell Brook in his prime, but he stopped him because his eye couldn't hold up and his team threw in the towel. But Crawford at 147, he just hit him with one shot in a fight he was winning. Come on. Stop it. He wasn't the same fighter. Anyway, moving on. And back to the original point. Oh, you just all over the place. Whatever. Back to the original point. Crawford still is the B-side. So we won't have no fight until he starts busting some different business moves. That's just what it is. You know? That's what it is. He said, "Stop it, ego. They can't handle the body shot truth bombs." I don't care because at the end of the day, I don't look crazy. If anybody witnessed what I was saying and what he was saying, I know I don't look crazy, so I ain't worried about it. Well, whatever. I know I didn't sound crazy with the points I'm making. Okay, so Kell Brook was a better fighter in 2020 than 2016. That's what you're telling me? See, look, bro, the more you try to squirm, the worse it'll be for you. So you believe Kell Brook in 2020 is a better fighter than Kell Brook in 2016, 2017. That's what you're saying. So in your world, Kell Brook, Terence Crawford fought the fresher Kell Brook, not Errol Spence. Yes or no? Who fought the fresher Kell Brook in your view? Errol Spence or Terence Crawford? Errol Spence in 2017 or Terence Crawford in 2020? Because depending on how you answer this, the whole world's going to know. No, I'm not listening. No. Did Errol Spence in 2017, if you had to take you're the king of eye test. Errol Spence in 2017 versus Kell Brook, would you say he was fresher then? Or would you say Kell Brook was fresher when Crawford just fought him in 2020? You're up. Nothing else matters if you're not going to answer that question. Was he fresher in 2017 or in 2020, according to you? See, look how long it's taking to answer a simple question. Kell Brook fresher in 2017 or 2020? According to you. he's doing anything but answering the question. You can't win with not being rational. I'm telling you. Look how long it's taken. All you have to do is put a date, 2017 or 2020. He refused to answer the question. You see that? I'm done. You can't answer the question, so that's what it is. I said, was he fresher? That's all I asked. Is fresher, and he refused to answer the question. You guys see it. So anyway, Crawford's not the A side. Let's get back to that. Terence Crawford is absolutely not the A side. You and Crawford and Omaha or whoever else can believe that Kell Brook was a better fighter in 2020 than 2017. That's up to y'all. But the boxing populace doesn't believe that. The boxing public doesn't believe that. You know, that's like saying Robert Guerrero, is he better now than he was when he was fighting Berto or when he was fighting Floyd? Come on, bro. So this man will tell you that Robert Guerrero is better now. He'll tell you that Robert Guerrero is a better fighter now than when he was fighting Berto and Mayweather. Okay. You guys can stay in denial as far as I'm concerned. So that's that. Listen, just so you guys know, whoever, even if you know Crawford, you're actually doing him a disservice by even trying to vouch for it, because when the facts come out, people see how ridiculous it looks if you're trying to vouch for something that is not logical. So I like it. I love it. When people try to like protect somebody's identity or stick up for their friend and they're in the wrong, it just make you look crazy. You know, it's like defending R. Kelly or something. Like, you can do it. You could defend R. Kelly, but if he keep getting busted with these cases and stuff, you're gonna be the one that looks crazy defending somebody that, you know, can't be saved in that regard or can't be defended in that regard. And that's the case with this Terence Crawford situation. Absolutely no way is he the A side. How is he the A side and he got one belt? How is he the A side? He's doing lesser numbers. How is he doing the A side and his own promoter threw him under the bus and said, you don't make money for me. I don't even want to promote you. You can stay signed to us if he says, do we want to keep him? That's Bob Arum's words. Al Heyman don't talk to publicly, and I doubt privately, to Errol Spence like that. Bro, Crawford has nowhere to go. Shout out to Doc Film Productions. He has nowhere to go, bro, but the truth, the promised land. You guys can try to counter me and say a bunch of stuff. The real world knows what it is. Your own promoter said he don't want you because you losing him money. He could have bought a house in Venice Beach or Malibu or wherever, Beverly Hills. There's nothing you could do to reverse that. Nobody on PBC, Danny Garcia, Errol, Broner, you don't see that. You don't see that energy. So Crawford could do whatever he wants, but at the end of the day, he ain't the A side. And all these things point to that. Doc Uncensored, what up? All these indications and it points to that. So it's funny too because you see the blatant hypocrisy from like the people who are trying to protect Crawford in this situation. They'll badmouth a Danny Garcia, but they're trying to sell you on Mean Machine. They're trying to sell you on Kell Brook being elite in 2020. Ain't that something? Listen, I'm going to say it again. The people who are trying to help Crawford, it's ironic that they're targeting guys like Errol Spence, Sean Porter, and Danny Garcia and questioning what they've done to the sport, including Crawford. But people that are viewed in 2020 or whenever these fights are happening as less relevant welterweights and people in other divisions, Crawford or his team or his fans are trying to sell you that Kell Brook was the best he could be. Ain't that funny? Myron did our ego. You know, Brook went into that Crawford fight looking for a payday. He got his trainer off YouTube or Instagram. Yeah, and now I'm really about to cook y'all because every time y'all go against the Dawn, then it's on. So now I'm really okay. Now I'm about to cook y'all. And see, I feel like listen. I feel like the line from Jay-Z where he said, do you understand the intelligence that Jay-Z has? Y'all don't understand the intelligence that ego has. So what y'all just witnessed is the prequel to a public execution. This man was attempting to argue that Kell Brook was an elite welterweight in 2020, right? And that he was super dangerous and, you know, Crawford just dismantled him. The question was simple. In 2017, was he a fresher fighter or in 2020? He refused to answer that question, but he still made it sound like Kell Brook in 2020 was the man. And I set him up. Listen, that's how I do y'all on the channel. I set y'all up because it's just like a detective. You watch First 48, just let them talk. The more they talk, the worse it gets. And I'll show y'all right now. Shout out to Doc Uncensored TV, nothing but the facts ego. So I like when they talk. That's why I allowed it to go on, because in the background I was doing other stuff so we can really put this on the table. Once again, his argument that Kell Brook is in effect still relevant welterweight, even though he hadn't fought at welterweight in 3 years, right? I don't even know why you took the bait. Hey, he fell for the mousetrap. He fell. Bro, he fell for the mousetrap. ESPN, February 28th, 2018. He fell for the mousetrap. I don't know why y'all fall for it. This is way too easy for me. ESPN, Kell Brook nearly gave up boxing battling depression. During a depression battle in 2018. If you read the article, Kell Brook says he almost turned his back on boxing after the Spence loss. He felt like nobody loved him after back-to-back losses to Triple G, had no guys, and Errol Spence. So you want me to believe that even though he's telling you this out of his own mouth, that he considered hanging it up because he was highly depressed because Errol Spence and Golovkin beat his ass. You want me to believe that somehow he was reinvigorated, and despite having two swollen eyes, somehow, some way, he was still that dude. Nah, don't try to super chat now. It's over. This is Kell Brook, yo.
No! Nice. Well, yes.
Let's get it.
Nice.
Characters in our school now, and that's Billy Joe Saunders and Jason Quigley, a top talent, and just having the guys on the card, we're all pushing each.
This is Kell Brook in February 2018 after Spence destroyed him. Oh yeah, hold on. Before I get started, just so y'all see, I told you I wait for these moments. Just let them talk. We just let them talk. Just so you guys can see what we're going over. Boxing Social. Kell Brook talks about depression and drinking, and a fresh comeback, and the importance of a confight. So you know what I'm covering.
You know, the weight problem, blowing up in weight. I've grown a lot wiser. I've got older, and especially the last defeat. You know, I decided, you know, if I'm gonna come back, which I'm sat here now, I'm coming back to do it properly. You know, so when
if I come back, because he was considering not fighting ever again, but he's better in 2020, according to some of y'all. Okay.
it is all over, I can look back and say, well, you did everything you've got, you did everything right. And I know that I've got plenty more in the locker to give to the fans, and I want them to walk away with me, you know, being very, very impressed.
Do you feel maybe a little bit early in your career, I've known you a long time, that you weren't maybe as in love with the sport as you should be, and maybe that's changed a bit now?
It has, you know, I think, you know, the saying is you don't know you've gone, you don't know, you've got, what is it?
You don't know what you've got
till it's gone, you know, and I'm losing the world title. You know, I sat there, the phone's not ringing like it used to when I'm world champion, everyone patting you on the back, you know how it is. And I just think, you know, I've got to do this for me. I've been sat down for the last 6 months, and I've been suffering depression, everything. It's been very bad because I'm a born winner. I'm used to winning, losing the world title in Sheffield. It was hard to get through, but
he said losing the world title in Sheffield when Errol Spence went to his city or whatever town place and whooped him has been hard to get through, and he went through a downward spiral and depression. Okay.
You know, I decided that I'm going to give it another go, and I'm going to give it everything, and I'm going to prove to myself. That's the main thing, that I've got. I'm a very top fighter.
Did part of you in?
So this is 2 years before he fought Crawford. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. He's saying this, and he put on a shitty performance after this with Zarafa, and this is 2 years before Crawford got to him. Okay.
In the back of your mind, think that could never happen to you?
Yeah, obviously, you know, you're not used to winning. It's hard to think of losing, and I just noticed when I lost that world title, you know, it probably took a month for it to really settle down and kick in, and I just remember sat there on my own, alone, and just thinking, you know, it's bad, you know. I was drinking a lot. I would just sometimes laid in bed and not staying in bed all day, not getting out of bed. You know, I was suffering bad. And I'm so happy that, you know, I decided to come back to boxing, because as soon as I come back and I put all my eggs in one basket and decided that's what I wanted to do, as soon as I started to get into it and I started training hard and letting endorphins off and drinking plenty of water and, you know, bringing myself round. I started to every day, you know, I got a lead.
Bro, and it sounds like he has a speech, like a punch, like sound a little punchy, like slurring his words. You know, so I respect Kell Brook for keeping it real, keeping it buck. You know, I'm sure it is a fall from grace when you do lose. But keep in mind, that was 2 years before Crawford fought him, and he hadn't fought at welterweight, and he was telling you he was drinking, staying in bed all day. So you want me to believe, and this is not making up excuses after Crawford beats him, right? This is information that he said before the fight, and I had already heard this. People were hoping that at best Kell Brook showed shades of who he's been in the past. That's all that was. But when it ended like it ended, people were like, okay, he is washed. Shout out to Lil Ken. He said, Ego, these Terence Crawford fans don't want to tell the truth that EJ is the A side and Terence is the B side. Just get over it and make the fight happen. That's what I try to say. But the thing is, they want to have the cake and eat it too. They want to posture and say, I'm the A side, despite all of the evidence that shows the contrary, and then blame it on Errol, Big Fish, if it don't happen. When in addition to that, Errol has more options. I told you, it's like playing chicken with a Mack truck and a bicycle. Crawford is on the bicycle. You don't have the traction. You don't have the momentum. You don't have the branding over the last couple of years, right? That would give you enough, leverage or, traction to beat this impeding vehicle that is bigger than you, which is how Errol Spence and the PBC is branded. Because Errol has more options. Like if him and Crawford don't fight, he could fight Jose Cito. I would really watch that. I would really watch that. Like just as a fight to give, because I don't know how many, I don't know if Errol Spence is going to be, the toughest of toughest fights after another. So a guy like a Jose Cito, that a Lipinets, he might get something like that. But nonetheless, PBC has the whole entire playground outside of Crawford. So Crawford, he doesn't really have a lane that he can even plead to. And then, like I've said, you guys can listen. I almost want Crawford. Well, I'm not going to say I want him to stay with Top Rank. I want him to do what's in his heart. But if he stays, holla at me if he stays at Top Rank. And we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's that simple. We'll see. We'll see how many options he has. We'll see. If you don't believe me now, we'll see if he stays. So make that decision. Do whatever's in his heart. But in my opinion, I feel he's playing a game he can't win because you haven't been. It's like people, I don't play chess, but I know people that play chess. And the thing is, they're predicting your future moves before you make them and kind of seeing what your strategy is so they can get to your queen. You see what I'm saying? And they can beat you in the game. This is chess, not checkers. Terence Crawford, branding and business-wise, has been playing checkers. PBC's been playing chess. And I know it seems people hear this and they're, oh, you're pro PBC. I don't care. I don't care who it is. I'm just telling you the facts. Top Rank's cool. They treat me nice when I go to fights and cover fights for them. I ain't mad. I'm just telling you what it is. You know what I'm saying? But we can't act oblivious to these obvious things that I'm outlining and act like Crawford has this A-side lever. He doesn't. Here's another thing. People went to Crawford. People went to, they flew from other maybe some countries, but other states to go see Errol Spence, Danny Garcia. I know people in Cali. I can show you text messages right now. I got people in Cali Bay Area. Yay! I got people in the Bay that went out to Dallas. We live in the Bay, and they went out to Dallas for that fight card because they were accepting fans. Even if Crawford Kell Brook was accepting fans, which it wasn't, I don't know that many people that probably would have went to that fight and risked COVID and all, you know what I'm saying, for that particular fight. It's just what it is. Crawford's immediate family and circle and camp and Jim and Shakur Stevenson went, stuff like that. But that has to show you something. Here's another thing. Don't you think Top Rank would have comped Errol Spence? They like, a lot of these promoters like to clout chase anyway. So if Errol Spence wanted to go to Crawford versus Brook because he fought Brook before, you don't think Top Rank would, accommodate him, give him a ticket discount? Because they'll be able to show him on camera and, try to pressure for a fight or whatever. But the thing is, no PBC fighter that I seen went to that. These are the realities. You guys can live in this fantasy world or not. Tank Davis is fighting. I see people that aren't even affiliated with PBC go to Tank Davis fights. I see it. I'm there. And or talk about it. Like Spence just fought Garcia, Denny. And guess what? Andre Ward, an ESPN commentator, was tweeting about it. And tweeting about what Sean Porter was saying and congratulating Demetrius Andre signed to DAZN, so on and so forth. We didn't really see this with Crawford Kell Brook from so many people. And Crawford himself went to the Danny Garcia Errol Spence fight. It's that simple. So, with Crawford making these demands like he's the man, it's just, I don't really even care about the fight. Like if they don't ever fight, he said he didn't care, then, is making me hard because he's not putting himself in a winnable position. That's what I really feel. My man Sterling Patterson repping, he said, I met people from Chicago who came to Dallas to see Errol. That's what I'm saying. You already know how it goes. So I feel like Crawford is just not putting himself in a winnable position. He talking about I need 60-40. I mean, if the fight don't happen, then that's on you. I bet money Spence fans aren't athletes. What's that got to do with you getting burned with the talking points though? You said Kell Brook. You refused to answer the question if Kell Brook's a better fighter in 2020. So what does that have to do with that? Bro, like I said, people can go around the truth and find various ways to try to go around. Just this is what I want boxing to do. Notice nobody has ever proven me wrong with these hard points and standpoints that I have. That's all I want y'all to peep. Notice how I'm sticking to the script and telling you what I've been saying, and ain't nobody coming out with this new logic that we never thought of that is putting to bed the points that I'm making. Do you guys see that? It's all emotional things. I don't know if people know Crawford or they want him to win or whatever the situation is. You can't, that's not how boxing works. It's not how it works at all. Do you guys at least see that? How nobody is like coming with this new logic? Like, okay, we'll play a little game. I got it. He said they came from Omaha to see this fight. That's what I'm saying. You can't win that one. His fight was so good, you had to go see it. Terence Crawford had to go see it. There's nothing you can tell me, bro. That's like me saying 50 Cent music suck, but his album come out and I gotta buy it. But I'm Ja Rule. You see what, bro? I'm the king of analogies. If 50 Cent and Ja Rule are beefing, and and then Get Rich or Die Trying comes out, and then Ja Rule goes on Instagram Live and buys the album, you'd be like, what the hell? Why would you do that? Why would Ja Rule show that he's publicly supporting 50 Cent when 50 is trashing him? Why? Please explain the logic. Why would he do that? Oh my God, it's the same dude, bro. Although he may not be making Spence money, y'all would be a fool to think that Crawford needs Spence. Bro, you're the fool. Okay, so I get it. Crawford doesn't need Spence. Then why does he mention him then? You guys are making this is just borderlining hilarious. You won't win. Answer that question. If Crawford doesn't need Spence, fine. Then let's just drop it. Why are ESPN writers and Max Kellerman, why they keep asking about the fight then? I don't care. I don't care about the fight. I'll never make another video about it. But why is Crawford talking about the fight? Why is he going to Errol's fight? He don't need it. Come on, bro. These dudes in the comment section is delusional, and you guys see it. Why did Crawford go to Errol Spence's fight and get hyped when PBC put up a graphic that said who's next? I just did a video about this. Explain that. I'm all ears. I got time today. Yo, let's get the likes up. Today I got time, cuz. Okay, explain that. I'm all ears. Enlighten me. So this is Crawford at Errol's fight. Why did he go? What was the point of that? This is Crawford at Errol's fight. Why did he go? He don't need him. I'm waiting. And why did he get hyped when PBC put up a graphic asking who's next? He don't need him, he said. He said his legacy. Y'all about to get body. Watch. Y'all about to get body, I promise. Keep not making sense. I prepared for this. I knew it was going to be like this. Bro, you're not going to win this. I promise you. I don't even know why people are even trying. This is not a battle you can actually win because it's not making sense. Okay. This is not, y'all really want to do it? If the fans want me to do it, smash the like button. I'll push the button if y'all want. You're not going to make this make sense. I promise you. Do y'all want me to push the button? If y'all want me to push the button, let me know. I promise you, there's no escape. You know it don't make sense. So the more you try to resist, the worse it gets for you. If y'all want me to push the button, can I get a hell yeah in the comment section? Okay, so PBC put up this graphic. It says, who's next? You see it? It says, who's next? And then Crawford, do you see this? This is Crawford's story. He said, we gonna show the world. Hold on. PBC posted this graphic of Errol Spence, like a Photoshop of Errol Spence and Crawford, right? And it says, who's next? And they did one for Errol Spence and Pacquiao. And Crawford put it on his story on Instagram and said, we gonna show the world. You see that? It says, we gonna show the world. Then underneath, I told y'all you didn't want to do this. Underneath the flyer or the graphic, This was Bud's comment. I love this energy. Right? So PBC posted a graphic. So you went to Errol Spence, Danny Garcia fight. You went to Errol Spence, Danny Garcia fight. Then PBC that same night yesterday posted that graphic. And you was in the comment section saying, oh, I love this. I love this energy. Then you reposted on your own Instagram story. Right? But previously, Terence Crawford said this. Oh man, why you let ego do this, yo? Crawford, Spence fight is not important. I don't need him for my legacy. He needs me. Saturday, December 5th. Why y'all let me push the button? Why y'all let me push the button? You know that don't make no sense. Saturday, December 5th, boxing scene. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence fight is not important. I don't need him for my legacy. He needs me. All right, bro. Yeah, make that make sense. I'm waiting. The money keep coming in. I told you. The money keep coming in. This is what happens. Number 016 with the $50. That looking like a bag of wild berry Skittles. Appreciate you. Great content. I have to support my Bay Area people. Keep doing what you are doing. California all day. California versus everybody, bro. Get some claps for that. $50. Let's go. Ricky Williams, tell them to answer me. Ricky Williams, tell them they must answer me. He just said Crawford, his own self, is quoted saying, I don't need Errol Spence. We need more claps than that. The man just said $50. Let's get the clap emojis. Let's go. Let's get it rolling. We can't do them like that. Bud Crawford smoking premium plastic in a band of, oh, wow. With that, he needs me-ish. Hey, you wildin' with that comment, David. That's hella funny. Let's get the claps up. Let's go. Bro, y'all gonna make, I need Omaha to make this make sense to me. Because if this is what they doing in Omaha, then I don't know. Because I'm from Cali, so I'm not familiar with this maneuver. So I need someone to explain it to me. You know, shout out to Omaha, but I need someone to know where they do this at. Hold on. We need more clap emojis. We need more likes. We need more of everything. Y'all gonna send like salute. Cash App on the screen. PayPal down below. Zelle on the screen. Get the likes up. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm working all week. Errol fight got me turned. Tell me where they do this at. Tell me what part of the game this is. Errol Spence fought December 5th with Danny Garcia. Boxing Scene December 5th got an article from you. I don't know when exactly you made these quotes. It says Crawford, Errol Spence fight not important. I don't need him for my legacy. Errol Spence needs me. What part of the game is this? I'm showing you on screen. Do you understand? That looks weird. You just see my mouth. Do you understand the words? Bro, Crawford says Spence fight is not important. I don't need him. He needs me. But then as soon as PBC put up a graphic, he said, I love this energy. We gonna show the world. I mean, which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? These are all, I am only going off of what Bud is putting out there. Rashid Mohammed, he said, you killing him. And I'm only being fair and factual. And Jay Brown just sent me a jack-o'-lantern. He sent me that Sunny Delight bottle, $25. We just gonna get that. Shout out to Jay Brown, as always. Make it make sense. Tevin Williams said, I'm from Omaha and I can't defend this. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, peace to Omaha. Like, it's nothing personal. I just want to know what part of communication this is. Like, this is like Tyson Fury level of double talk, and I don't know what you want me to do with that. You see what I'm saying? It's just too back and forth. He's quoted saying, I don't need Errol Spence. He need me. The same day that article publishes, he goes to Errol's fight. I just showed you. He went to Errol's fight. Like, it doesn't sound like it makes sense. That's why I'm begging you guys. He's begging. I am begging you guys to explain what this is. And you don't need Errol, but you show up to his event. Like, he's a millionaire or whatever. He can go wherever he wants. That's cool. I'm not mad that he went to the fight. But what I'm saying is, what part of the game is this? You're at the fight. You know, they put you up on the Summer Jam screen. Look, you're at the fight. But the same day as the fight, this article says Crawford, Errol Spence fight is not important. I don't need him for my legacy. He needs me. What part of the game? So as long as Crawford keeps putting multiple messages out, it's going to continue to be confusing, and we'll continue having to examine all the stuff, the various variety and assortment of things he's saying.
You know what I mean? Everybody always coming at me, coming at my throat. They say, you know, I ain't fought nobody at the 147-pound division. Yeah. And I just be laughing, you know what I mean? Because everybody, the top welterweights in the divisions, you know what I mean, when they say they is. Who y'all got this weekend, Danny or Errol? My take, it's going to be a good fight.
Bro, he just said, I don't need him. And then on the fight week for Errol's fight, he talking about him. I don't understand this behavior. Bro, this is Terence Crawford the week of the fight. It doesn't make sense what he's doing. And if nobody else would tell him, I guess I got to be the one. It don't make sense. You said you don't need him. Look, I guess I got to just put it all on the screen at once so it looks even more confusing like it is, right? Look, is that better? Is that what y'all want? Is this what you want? Is this what you want? Bro, Crawford, Spence fight not important. I don't need him for my legacy. He needs me. But you're talking about his fight. Look, I'm going to just leave it like that.
You know what I mean? Because everybody, the top welterweights in the divisions, you know what I mean? When
My man said pride is a deadly sin. He's not going to win this one.
Who y'all got this weekend, Danny or Errol?
Talking about Errol again. That's why Errol said this. It's going to be a good fight. Talk about Errol.
Fighters fighting each other. But let's all be real for one moment. And everybody talking about they always, you know, they real and they know boxing. Well, let's be real. If you know boxing, why should we consider Danny Garcia a top welterweight in the division?
Oh my
Somebody
God.
tell me that.
Why did you go to Danny Garcia's fight then? Bro, it don't make sense. You could say Danny's a piece of shit. He sucks. Why did you go? That's all I want to know. He said, why should we consider Danny a top fighter? Why did you go? You said below, Spence fight is not important. I don't need him. He needs me. And you're chastising Danny's resume the week of Errol Spence's fight conveniently. But you still went. Like, it don't make sense.
Why should we consider Danny Garcia a top welterweight in the division? Can somebody tell me that?
Yes,
and that's my
when you tell us why you went to the fight, then
okay. So if Errol beats Danny, if I'm saying it's gonna be a walk in the park, Danny can fight it.
So inadvertently, you have now been incriminated yourself and given Errol credit, because before the fight you said if Errol can beat Danny, and I'm not saying it's going to be a walk in the park. Well, guess what? We all watched the fight, and it was a walk in the park. So you've now given him a compliment. Bro, it don't make sense. You've basically given Errol a compliment, because now you're basically saying that you thought the fight was going to be a tough fight. You see what I'm saying? You've given him a compliment now.
Ask me. So if Errol beats Danny, if I'm saying it's gonna be a walk in the park,
and it was a walk in the park. So Errol Spence is that dude now. You've inadvertently, accidentally, through your own actions, given Errol credit now. Ego, check out Top Rank IG post day of the fight. I seen that. They put Crawford.
Danny can fight his ass off. That's why I consider him one of them. He beat Kell Brook to win against. I won the fights that I had to win, against the guys that I had to win against. Errol Spence, you know what? He fought Kell Brook. He beat Kell Brook.
Bro, how are you making it sound like so trivial? And then you fought Kell Brook 3 years after he fought Kell Brook, and you want us to give you credit, bro? This is not making sense. You said Errol fought one guy. He fought Kell Brook. Yes, he did in 2017. You fought Kell Brook 3 years after that. So why, man? What?
Against the guys that I had to win against. Errol Spence, you know what? He fought Kell Brook. He beat Kell Brook. Sean Porter ain't beat the top welterweight.
Sean Porter ain't beat a top welterweight, but you just said Danny Garcia can fight his ass off. Bro, you're not going to win this. I promise you. You could be the most dieharded Crawford fan. It doesn't make sense because there's multitudes of things being said. He just said, oh, what makes Danny a top welterweight? Oh, here's why I think Danny's a top welterweight. Danny could fight his ass off. I knew him since we was kids. Sean Porter ain't never beat nobody at welterweight. Sean Porter beat Danny Garcia. So what does that mean? You questioned Danny, then gave Danny credit and said you weren't hating. Then you gave Sean Porter no credit, who's calling you out. It doesn't make sense, bro. Boxing Finest, $5. Let's hypothetically say Crawford can get Pac-Man in his next fight and get a win over him. Would he be considered the A side? I'm not even doing that hypothetical because I don't even think he's going to get the Pacquiao. No, I'm not doing that because Top Rank been telling him he's going to get the Pacquiao fight since fucking 1492 when Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. So I had to see the Pacquiao shit. They keep talking about Pacquiao and Castle Grayskull and all, Qatar. Man, come on. SB, man, salute. Man, this is looking bad.
Sean Porter ain't beat the top welterweight.
Icy, that's the face. Icy, what? Bro, he said screenshot this. I got to screenshot this face. Icy said he said I got a screenshot. Bro, I got to screenshot that. That's hella funny, Icy. Nah, that's the new screenshot. I got to use that. That's hilarious. Icy told me to screenshot one of these joints. Shout out to Icy. Bro, he's bro, why he look like Papa Shango? Like he put a curse on Bob Arum put a hex on him. No, listen. He just said Sean Porter ain't beat a top welterweight, but he beat Ugas and Danny. What are we talking about? Bro, Ugas is a top fighter. He's ranked. He's a top guy.
Sean Porter ain't beat the top welterweight. Y'all claim. But in my eyes, Sean Porter didn't fought all the welterweights there is to fight, but Terence Crawford. Sean Porter is another one that, you know, came up short in a lot of fights. Well, a few fights. But he made them close. You know, Thurman, he fought quite a few welterweights in the division.
Bro, how can you say Thurman fought quite a few? He fought way more than you. Pacquiao, Diego Chavez at the time, you know, Jesus Soto Caraz, Danny, and Sean. And you like, oh, he fought. He's like undermining it.
But when we talking, you know, the number one guy in the division, you know, we gotta be talking about Terence Crawford, man.
Bro, you keep talking about all these PBC guys, and then you just announce yourself as the number one person. You have how you number one. Man, I can't even deal with this, bro. How are you number one and you don't even have the most belts or the best resume? So that's like me saying I'm the richest person in the world because I got $1,000 in the bank, but this world contains Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson, Warren Buffett. But I'm saying I'm the richest person in the world because I got $1,000. It doesn't make sense. You're talking about how all these guys did or didn't fight enough people, but they've all fought more people than you. Then you just admitted Keith Thurman fought quite a few, and Errol got more belts than you. So you don't have them beat in the resume department. They're all fighting each other. And Errol got 2 belts, but you just announced yourself as you're number one. Now, I can understand it if you said, I'll beat them, so I feel I'm number one. But we're saying, how are you saying you're number one right now?
The number one guy in the division, you know, we got to be talking about Terence Crawford, man.
How can you be number one in the division with less belts and less names? Let me know how that works.
Moving up, doing my thing. Why would Spence about to fight Saturday? How me and Spence gonna fight? That don't even make sense.
Spence.
See? That's what I be talking about.
Listen.
That's what I be talking about. I want that fight though. That's one fight that I really want. Spence and Pacquiao. Them the 2 fights that I really want, that I really be looking forward to in the near future. I really want Spence. Just
bro, listen, this shit sound crazy. He's saying I really want Spence, and y'all are listening to it. As I have on the screen an article from December 5th where he said he don't need Spence at all. Bro, I have this on the screen that says Spence fight not important. Bro, this don't make sense. Crawford, Spence fight not important. I don't need him for my legacy. He needs me. But you keep talking about him. Listen, I'm going to play it as this is on the screen. So you're looking at an article from Boxing Scene, December 5th, as he continues to talk about Spence, whilst there's an article floating around in the same week that says Spence fight is not important. I don't need him for my legacy. He needs me. This cannot be explained.
that I really be looking forward to. Fight that I really want. That's one fight that I want that fight though. That's one fight that I really want. Spence and Pacquiao. Them the two fights that I really want, that I really be looking forward to in the near future. I really want Spence just to show and shut everybody up.
Bro, this is like insanity. I'm showing you an article from Saturday, December 5th at 3 a.m. in the morning that says Spence fight is not important to me. I don't need him. But he's keep talking about Spence on his Instagram Live the same week.
That I really be looking forward to in the near future. I really want Spence.
Bro, and then look.
I used to be
career.
I don't care. I really like I told people, I really don't care if that fight happened or not no more.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be all up on that fight, you know what I mean? But the way things have been going these last couple of years, it just rubbed off on me. I don't care about it no more.
What?
If we fight, we fight. If we don't, we don't. I'm not the one that is the reason why it didn't happen. And I'm not the one that they say, oh, well, you need Spence. Why would I need Spence? Why would I need Spence? A lot of people say I need Spence. I don't need Spence. The fans want Spence.
But I haven't heard that one that you need him. I mean, I just that's a great fight for both of y'all.
That's all
I haven't.
That's all I hear. A lot of people
What you say?
be like,
For
he
real?
needs Spence. A lot of people be like, he needs Spence. I don't need Spence. You know what I mean? What have Spence accomplished in his career that I haven't, or more? What have he accomplished?
So you just told Miss Boxing Baby what has he accomplished, and you said Danny Garcia ain't a top welterweight, but you bought a ticket to their fight and went there. You keep saying you want him, you don't want him, you want. It's all documented. Bro, I'm done. Mr. Riviera said $10 Crawford cap it hard. Bro, it doesn't make sense. That's all I'm asking. You can't, how you gonna get mad at me? You said this stuff. You said it. I didn't tell you to do this. So keep in mind, this article or this interview was before fight week, and the one where he said I want Spence was during fight week. But it's about a week, 2 weeks apart. Like this, it sounds crazy, bro.
Them the two fights that I really want. I want that fight though. That's one fight that I really want. Spence and Pacquiao. Them the two fights that I really want, that I really be looking forward to in the near future. I really want Spence. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't accomplish way more than he accomplished in his little career. You know what I mean? So
Little career.
I don't care. I really like I told people, I really don't care if that fight happened or not no more.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be all up on that fight. You know what I mean? But the way things have been going these last couple of years, it just rubbed off on me. I don't care about it no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we fight, we fight. If we don't, we don't. I'm not the one that is the reason why it didn't happen. And I'm not the one that they say, oh, well, you need Spence. Why would I need Spence? Why would I need Spence? A lot of people say I need Spence. I don't need Spence. The fans want Spence.
But I haven't heard that one that you need him. I mean, I just that's a great fight for both of y'all.
That's all.
I haven't.
That's all I hear. A lot of people
What you say?
be like,
For
he
real?
needs Spence. A lot of people be like, he needs Spence. I don't need Spence. You know what I mean? What have Spence accomplished in his career that I haven't, or more? What have he accomplished? You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm considered the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world, because all of my accolades and my numbers speak for itself. I already said I want Spence.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But that fight not gonna happen because he already talking to 60-40 deal. And if it ain't 60-40 in my favor, then that fight is not gonna happen. Period.
Okay.
Errol, great performance. I know you already talked about getting back to the ranch, very understandable. But what did you think of Terence showing up ringside? Do you think that helped build some buzz to make it a big fight?
No. I mean, he gotta live up to his words. If he say he's not worried about me, then I don't know why he doing what he was doing here. I probably wouldn't go to none of his fights, so I'm not worried about Terence Crawford. Like I said, I'm going to enjoy my time with my kids and chill out and just reflect on this year and a half that, I came back. Go to none of his fights.
To make it a big fight?
No. I mean, he got to live up to his words. If he say he's not worried about me, then I don't know why he doing what he was doing here. I probably wouldn't go to none of his fights, so I'm not worried about Terence Crawford. Like I said, I'm going to enjoy my time with my kids and chill out and just reflect on this year and a half that,
I told you, bro. That's why Errol said that. He's like, he said, why is he even at my fight? He got to stick to his words. He said he ain't tripping off me, or he don't need me or whatever. You see? It don't make sense. There's no way you can make that make sense because there's too many articles and interviews. You're looking at him say this, and he's saying polar opposite things in a small space of time. Like, I can understand if, things happen over time. Like, you could love somebody in 2013 and fall out of love with them. So in 2020, you don't love this person that you loved in high school or something. You see, I get that. But what Crawford is doing doesn't make sense. He's all over the place. He's saying, oh, I don't need Errol Spence. But why you go to his fight then? And then when PBC posts something, you say, yeah, I'm so hyped or whatever he said. I mean, it's just it's hot and cold behavior. Like, I love this energy. But you say you didn't need him. You see what I'm saying? This is Crawford. This is Crawford's story. It's a picture of him and Errol Spence. It's like Errol living in his head rent free. Then these PBC guys we know have the bigger resumes and doing bigger numbers. Keith Thurman and Pacquiao did better numbers than any Crawford fight. All of Crawford's pay-per-views combined. That's the reality. That's the reality. Pacquiao Thurman did 500. But we could keep doing this all day. There's interviews with Team Crawford, and they said, we ain't fighting no damn Keith Thurman. He ain't got no belt. You see what I'm saying? Man, I don't know why Crawford is doing this, bro. I don't understand it. It's like, it's just a weird game. This is Keith Thurman. This is a new interview. Shout out to 78. He said, salute Ego in the chat. What's up? This is a new Keith Thurman interview. Listen.
Sometimes people, they don't want to hear the truth, can't handle the truth. Terence.
Listen, smash the like button. This is Keith Thurman, brand new. That hot shit.
Sometimes people, they don't want to hear the truth. They can't handle the truth. Terence Crawford came with some weird whack article saying that I made $2 million fighting Pacquiao. Like, I ain't make $2 million since PBC started,
Oh, Keith, why you do him like that, Keith? Tell him something, Joe. Why Keith Thurman do him like that? Oh, my gosh. It's not going to get any better until this gets cleaned up and Crawford stops saying multitudes of things. Bro, the man Keith Thurman just said Terence Crawford came with a whack article saying I made $2 million versus Pacquiao. I don't know where he got that. I ain't made $2 million since PBC started. PBC started in 2015. So the man said he been cashing them checks, getting them M's for at least 5 years. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Hey, Keith, why you do it like that, Keith? He said, Terence Crawford, listen, I'll run it back. Hold on. We got to get the likes up. I'm going to run it back. A lot of y'all haven't heard this, unless you checked another stream that I did. A lot of y'all haven't heard this. See, I get the stuff. I get all the content. Stuff that go under the radar. This is new Keith Thurman, and he said Crawford came out with a whack article claiming that I made $2 million versus Pacquiao. I ain't made that since PBC started, and PBC was official in 2015. This is your boy. You better not duck me, Thun. My man Kane said, you know Keith serious when he uses the word whack. Listen.
Sometimes people, they don't want to hear the truth. They can't handle the truth. Terence Crawford came with some weird whack article saying that I made $2 million fighting Pacquiao. Like, I ain't make $2 million since PBC started, you know? So, you know, I don't know where his source is coming from. Like, I ain't make that I made. Terence Crawford came with some weird whack article saying that I made $2 million fighting Pacquiao. Like, I ain't make $2 million since PBC started, you know?
Bro, that's your boy one time. You better not duck me, Thun. Weird whack. That's your boy one time, Keith Thurman, with the light flex. That's how you, listen, in the streets, if you want to flex on someone, that's called a light flex. That's where you flexing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Someone say, hey, what time is it? And you say, pff, and you got a nice watch on, and you do it like a movie, like you Mike Lowry. That's called a light flex. Like, you could have just pulled the watch up slow, but you did it like that to let them know. Sometimes you got to let people know. That was Keith Thurman with the light flex. Because, you know, there's overt flexing where you, like, you know, filming a music video, showing some money or whatever. That was called a light flex. In the hood, that's a light flex. So it's a, hey, Mike Lowry, you got the time? Oh, yeah, let me check. And you do it in slow motion and shit like you really Mike Lowry or something. Cause I'm Mike Lowry. That was a light flex. He said he came with a weird whack article saying I made $2 million versus Pacquiao. That's a light flex. So he's basically saying, I don't know where he got that, but I was eating. I didn't make no $2 million. That's what that means in hood terminology. I'm just trying to help y'all because we got all different people that watch the channel. So, you know, sometimes we got to get the urban dictionary going on. That's a light flex. That's light.
They don't want to hear the truth. They can't handle the truth. Terence Crawford came with some weird whack article saying that I made $2 million fighting Pacquiao. Like, I ain't make $2 million since PBC started, you know? So, you know, I don't know where his source is coming from. And if they paid Kell Brook $2 million, that's what $2 million get you. Look at that performance, okay?
Okay, Keith. Oh, Keith talking that cash shit, y'all. The boy Keith talking cash shit. This man said, he said Crawford came with a weird whack article saying I made $2 million versus Pacquiao. I don't know where he got that. I ain't made $2 million. That was the light flex. He said, I ain't made $2 million since PBC started. He said, if y'all paid Kell Brook $2 million, then you get what you pay for because you seen the performance from Kell Brook. Oh, man. Keith Thurman talking that. He talking spicy. That boy Keith talking spicy. He said, we watched the Kell Brook shit. You paid him $2 million. You get what you pay for, basically, because that's what the $2 million got you. So Keith Thurman, he coming back with the light flexes. He coming back with the light flexes. Might pull up in the Lexus with a chick named Alexis. Bars, listen, I said Keith Thurman with the light flexes one time in a Lexus. Might pull with chick Lexus. Oh, my God. Let me stop. The man is doing a light flex.
Handle the truth. Terence Crawford came with some weird whack article saying that I made $2 million fighting Pacquiao. Like, I ain't make $2 million since PBC started, you know? So, you know, I don't know where his source is coming from. And if they paid Kell Brook $2 million, That's what $2 million get you. Look at that performance, okay? Your boy one time come through, man. I come through with the action. I come through at the press conferences. Just all the way, man. I'm all the way live, man. This is my heart, my soul, my dream, and I'm living it.
He said your boy Keith come through. I ain't gonna give you no Kell Brook fight. That's basically what he's saying. I'm just hitting y'all with the Urban Dictionary. He said you got what you paid for with the Kell Brook.
Pacquiao, it was a pretty easy fight to make. You guys had very brief negotiations, and boom, we were off to the races. I remember when you fought Badu. I remember when you fought Porter. It didn't seem too controversial to make any of those decisions. But so what are some of these bogus things that you are hearing in terms of making fights, trying to negotiate, et cetera, or just in general? What do you think is the most outrageous things you're hearing about you?
You know, they just said that there was an article that said Thurman asked for $10 million. I don't ask for money. You know what I mean? I ask what you're willing to put out, but I don't put a number on nothing. You know what I mean? It's always negotiable. You got to negotiate. I was raised in this game from veterans. You know, my original trainer was a war vet and a boxing vet. You know, and he taught me everything there is to know about the sport of boxing. He told me when I was 14, 15 years old, what it's going to be like to be $1 million fighter. And he said, you are that fighter, boy. You are that fighter. You know, he told me how these promoters act. He told me how these managers be. He told me how the networks are. He told me all the money's in the networks. I ain't see $100,000 till I fought on HBO. Bangetti was right. You know what I'm saying? Everything else before that was 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. HBO came through 100,000. You know, it's all in the networks. HBO, Showtime, nowadays ESPN, Fox. It's always the money flows through the networks. And the networks love Keith Thurman. You know, and I love the networks. I love working with everybody that I've had an opportunity throughout my career. That's why it's easy to do business with me, man. If you want to make it difficult, you can make it difficult, but it's really easy at the end of the day. So, you know, that's all I got to say. You know, I mean, I'm a fighter. All I want to do is fight, you know. All I want to do is fight. Every single day of my life, I've had 22-month layoffs. This is like a 16-month layoff. I've had all sorts of layoffs. Every day of my life is one day closer to stepping back in the ring. And that's how I look at it. Until the day I retire, that's the life of a fighter.
Man, that boy Keith was cooking on the business. He said the money's in the network. See, the thing is, Terence Crawford, I think he got to get more in tune with the business. Terence Crawford has people he trusts. This is my perception. Terence Crawford has people he trusts, and they coming back telling him whatever. And that might not be the real case, but that he's just going off of it because these are entrusted people. You know what I mean? And he's thinking like, oh, I was about to get the Pacquiao fight. I was this close. You wasn't about to get shit. You wasn't about to get no fucking Pacquiao. Stop. Oh, y'all want me to prove it? Who said what? Who said what? Say it again. He wasn't getting no Pacquiao fight in no pandemic year. Pacquiao doing stuff for his country, and he's a senator. He wasn't getting no. Listen, ask yourself this. Ask yourself this. I was born at night, not last night. Ask yourself this. Pacquiao and Crawford were on the same team, Top Rank, on HBO together, right? For years before Pacquiao finally left in the Matisse fight, the Broner fight. You know, he was with Al Heyman and PBC and Keith Thurman. Answer these two questions. For years, Crawford was fighting Beltran and Derry Jean. Pacquiao was in or around his weight division, 140, 147. You know, they were both right around that same thing. One, how come Bud never, in all that time, Bud never got a Pacquiao fight? Two, how come fights that fans have been craving, like Broner and Pacquiao and Keith Thurman, mysteriously happened after Pacquiao left Top Rank and signed with Al Heyman? Explain how that happened. So you and Pacquiao were in or around the same divisions for 4 to 7 years, we'll say. Fans wanted to see. I have not thousands, but I have a ton of videos clamoring for the fight. I mean, I could prove everything I'm saying. I could prove everything I'm saying. And I was supportive of that fight. I wanted to see the fight. I thought the fight made sense. And for some reason, Pacquiao and you never fought. So why now? And then Pacquiao moves to PBC, and then he mysteriously fights Keith Thurman, which is a good fight. Right? Explain how that happened, and explain why you now think in the year of a global pandemic you're going to get that fight. Bro. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Watch. Watch how I cook y'all. So that's what I said. Crawford got to get in tune with his business because clearly he don't have that. He's a great fighter, but he don't have that. He ain't in tune with his business. Because I'm just a YouTuber. How I see this. How do I see this and I'm a YouTuber? And you don't see this, and you in the situation. Watch. I told you. This boxing game, buckle up, because the ride get trippy. Watch. I'm going to show y'all. Just to prove, I back up everything I'm saying every time. This is the screenshot of a video I did 4 years ago. You see that? You see that? 30,000 views 4 years ago. Boxing Ego. 4 years ago. 4 years ago. We in 2020. 2020. I made this video 4 years ago, right? Manny Pacquiao, quote, says yes to Terence Crawford per Bob Arum. 4 years ago. We had no pandemic back then. See, y'all slow. Y'all slow. Y'all in the comment section, y'all don't know. Y'all slow. Y'all don't know shit about boxing. How I make a video 4 years ago. Bob Arum says, I went off of what he said. I linked it in the article that I got the information from, like I always do. 4 years ago, so that would have been 2016. Bob Arum saying Pacquiao said yes to a Crawford fight. 4 years later, the shit still ain't happened. But wait, there's more. Here's some more videos I did. Okay. Ego got that work. 4 years ago, 23,000 views. Freddie Roach wants Pacquiao to avoid Terence Crawford. Ego Stradamus continues to strike again. And underneath it, 5 years ago, 25,000 views. Pacquiao versus Crawford, option at 140. 4 to 5 years in the making, and we still haven't gotten the fight. So you wanted moi, to believe that Crawford in the year of a global pandemic in Qatar was going to fight Manny Pacquiao? Oh my God. Is that, bro, I did videos about all of this. I don't forget any memory of an elephant. I probably got older videos than this. This conversation, and keep in mind, this is when they were both with Top Rank, when I was making these videos. So Pacquiao was with Top Rank. Crawford was with Top Rank. I got content from 4, 5, possibly longer years ago where the alleged Pacquiao carrot was dangled over Crawford's, and I was pushing for the fight. I'm like, that's a great fight. I love it. And he didn't get it. How the fuck Broner? See, I'm cooking y'all. Y'all better get y'all business together. Don't be mad at me. Get y'all business together. How the fuck Broner had a draw with Jesse Vargas, lost to Mikey Garcia, had a draw with Adrian Granados, Pacquiao signed to PBC, Broner still get a Pacquiao fight before you? How Broner get a fight off of, 2 draws and a loss? Granados draw. Some people thought that Granados even won. Mikey Garcia was a loss, and then Jesse Vargas was a draw. And he still get the fight before you. My man said answer, Al Heyman. But Crawford, do it your way. Yeah, do it your way. Do it your way. Bro, I showed you the content. The videos is from 4 years ago, and he still ain't fought him. You really think this shit is coming? Bro, Crawford, you know what Crawford is? Crawford is like that story of that deadbeat dad. I'm not saying he's a deadbeat. Listen to this analogy. But you know how people talk about deadbeat dads, and the dad's like, oh, I'm going to Walmart, son, right? And then he leave, and you don't ever see him again. You don't ever see the dad. Instead of the dad, and I'm not saying this is his family, but what I'm saying is instead of the dad in this analogy, the dad is the Pacquiao fight. He's looking out the window expecting his dad to come back from the Walmart. I'm going to Walmart, son, to get some cigarettes. I'll be back. That was in 1986. That was in 1986. Motherfucker's 2020. He ain't coming back. If your pop said he come, and then Crawford, every day he gets home from school, he expecting his dad to be there. He go home, throw his book back, go run in his mom's room, expecting dad to just be there with the cigarette. Bro, what are we talking about, bro? He looking through the blinds and shit. Bro, the fella ain't been here since 86 when he told you he was going to the store to get some cigarettes. So he dead in jail, or he just left you. He ain't coming back. He ain't coming back. That's the Pacquiao fight. So in this analogy, the deadbeat dad, the deadbeat dad is the Pacquiao fight. I don't see this shit really happening. Maybe if you go to PBC or something, I don't know. But I just showed you videos I did from 4 or 5 years ago, and the shit still ain't happened. Now, I'm not in a good mood because I'm hungry, so I want to cook y'all a little bit more. I need y'all to get the likes up. So Bud got to get, bro, you got to grab the bull by your horns. Your business is looking all shifty. And it took you this long to see all this stuff that people been seeing. Little YouTubers and the boxing media. See, Bud he go at boxing media like me. Well, not me personally, but he go against boxing media, say, oh, you boxing media people, or you people in boxing, or you fans don't fight. But you ain't going at Bob Arum like this. What we talking about? What we talking about? Right? You ain't going at your handlers like, man, give me that Pacquiao fight. Let's go. I need that Pacquiao fight ASAP. You're not going at them like that. But you talking about, oh, you boxing fans can't fight. Man, who cares about that? Where's the Pacquiao fight? That's what you said you getting? Where is that? Where's the Pacquiao fight? Please tell me where it is. You've been waiting for it for 4 to 8 years or whatever it's been. Now I'm about to cook y'all. I couldn't wait to cook y'all. I couldn't wait to cook y'all. Smash the like button.
And I still have a sore spot for Manny. And guys like Sean Gibbons and so forth don't want Manny to fight him because they feel the same way. So rule out a Pacquiao fight.
What? That was Bob Arum from this year. Before the pandemic. Oh my gosh. Do y'all hear what he said? Anybody? Anybody heard that? Y'all ain't heard? Y'all ain't heard? Bro, that was Bob Arum before the pandemic. Y'all hear that? He said rule out a Pacquiao fight before the pandemic. Bud keep talking about this Pacquiao. I want Pacquiao Spence. Okay, Spence the A side, you don't want to accept that. Pacquiao fight in Qatar, good luck with that. Bud got to come down to earth. He got to come back down to earth. Your own promoter is on tape, on YouTube tape. So it's not like some old dog tape at the liquor store. Hey, why y'all keep bitching about my tape? Like that nobody know. This is on YouTube, public, not an unlisted video, public. Your own promoter says, rule out the Pacquiao fight before the pandemic. So you mean to tell me the pandemic happened right after that? Everybody got sick and social distancing, and now he was able to produce the Pacquiao fight in Qatar during a pandemic, but he just said rule out. Okay. Y'all must think I'm stupid.
For now in this position.
Listen,
Who's the second best?
Listen. Y'all think I'm stupid. Okay. Now I got to get you.
So where does that put you with Crawford now in this position? Who's the second best? Is it still Manny, or are you looking at maybe Porter, Garcia?
Manny Pacquiao won't fight him because.
Well, you said you don't want Manny to fight him either.
Well, yeah, I don't want Manny to fight him because
the man just said Manny won't fight him. Then he just told you, I don't want Manny to fight him. Oh my gosh.
Devastation.
For now in this position, who's the second best? Is it still Manny, or are you looking at maybe Porter, Garcia?
Manny Pacquiao won't fight him.
Oh, Bob, why you doing
because
well, you said you don't want Manny to fight him either.
Well, yeah, I don't want Manny to fight him because it's a devastation, and I still have a sore spot for Manny. And
I don't want Crawford to fight Manny because it would be a devastation, and I have a sore spot for Manny, a soft spot, I think you meant to say.
Guys like Sean Gibbons and so forth don't want Manny to fight him because
one of Manny Pacquiao's advisors, Sean Gibbons, doesn't want Manny to fight him. That's what Bob's saying.
Because
well, you said you don't want Manny to fight him either.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't want Manny to fight him because.
Oh man, why you let ego do y'all like this? Why y'all let the king of this boxing talk do y'all like this? Oh my gosh. See, y'all gotta pay attention. I swear y'all gotta pay attention. This was before the pandemic in March of this year.
It's a devastation, and I still have a sore spot for Manny. And guys like Sean Gibbons and so forth don't want Manny to fight him because they feel the same way. So rule out a Pacquiao fight. Then that leaves.
The man said, so rule out a Pacquiao fight. But mysteriously, after this interview was conducted with Fight Hub, Bob Arum is saying, we're fighting Pacquiao in Qatar. All right.
Maybe Danny Garcia. I don't think that's a particularly big fight, and it's like a who cares fight. I look more at the 140s.
The man said maybe Crawford. This is March of this year. He said maybe Crawford will fight Danny, but that's not a particularly who cares fight. But Fox just last night put Errol Spence in there with Danny Garcia and charged $75 for it. But Bob Arum just says maybe Crawford will fight Danny, which he didn't. This was in March of this year, which he didn't. And he says it's not particularly a who cares fight. But Fox thought it was a who cares fight because that's what they just made for $75. And then he says what I'm really looking towards is the 140 pounders, Josh Taylor Ramirez winner. They haven't even fought each other. So, Bud, the walls are closing in. If your promoter says cancel the Pacquiao fight, Mayweather's fighting Logan Paul, so you know you're not getting that. He's talking about you need to fight, promote yourself better, and you need to fight 140 pounders who haven't even fought for undisputed yet, Ramirez and Josh Taylor, who know they haven't even fought. So let's say they fight in April 2021. They got to take some time off. So when is Bud going to even be back in here? Man, it's over. It's over. It's over. I'm the king of this boxing talk, and you know that. It's over. Everything I said makes too much sense. Your own promoter says cancel the Pacquiao fight. I got a soft spot for him.
Yeah, I don't want Manny to fight him because it's a devastation, and I still have a sore spot for Manny. And guys like Sean Gibbons and so forth don't want Manny to fight him because they feel the same way. So rule out a Pacquiao fight.
Checkmate. Thank you guys for joining my stream. Your own promoter says rule out a Pacquiao fight before the global pandemic, before it. Then that made everything more complex because of the absence of the live gate, which is what happened with Wilder Fury 3, right? Just so you guys see it. Hold on. I told you, I cover all my tracks. Everything I'm saying is facts. I cover all my tracks. Look, March 9th, 2020. So just before the pandemic was really widely known about in the States. Your own promoter says, I won't let Pacquiao fight Terence Crawford. And this is on YouTube. It's on YouTube. You could so how am I able to see it, but Bud can't see this? Man, come on. And then now that's why Bob is probably frustrated because he's losing money on you because he don't have nobody for you. But let Mr. Loyal Terence Crawford stay loyal. Good. Do it. Stay loyal to that. Let your loyalties and pride put you in that position. Meanwhile, Errol, he ain't had no problem. He got plenty of options. Jose Cito, Sergey Lipinets, Sean Porter rematch. If Mikey Garcia works his way up, maybe that. Bro, he got options. Your own promoter, dog. Bob Arum, quote, Pacquiao won't fight Terence Crawford. It would be a devastation. Checkmate. And Errol doing numbers. Checkmate. Yeah, keep staying loyal while you get thrown under the bus and keep praying for that Pacquiao fight. Oh, I want to fight Pacquiao, guys. Like I said with the deadbeat dad example. Good luck. Keep looking out that window, hoping your pops come back. Peace. That's my time. Holla at the kid. Bud got to get in control of his business. This is the old media way, just string it along. Bro, I got videos from 4 years ago where they were saying Pacquiao says yes and all this shit. Then now it's this. But look, Manny Pacquiao says yes to Terence Crawford. This is a video. I don't just make videos up. So if you go to this video, which you see on the screen, if you go to that on you, this is all on YouTube, bro. That's why I revolutionized the YouTube game. Because it's breadcrumbs to get you back to any of these videos. That's why the YouTube, I tell you, is the biggest thing in boxing because boxing is a niche community. You said Bud well seasoned. Hey, whatever you want to call it, but I'm from Cali. We can't move like that. You got to just get in charge of your business. Shout out to my man Dale McCree. He said Bob looking like Calvin Candy and Bud looking like Steven from Django Unchained. Wow. Y'all tripping with that Leo shit. Whatever. My thing is this. Bud can do whatever he wants. Stay with him. You like it. You loyal. You prideful. You the A side. All that. Cool. Dope. But Bud is also, and his team and people, they keep saying that all these guys are ducking. Keith Thurman just said everything is negotiable. We can fight. I'm not hard. He said this don't have to be harder than it needs to be. You know what I mean? It's Bud's team that, in my opinion, seems unrealistic. Because they did an interview where they're saying, why should we fight Keith Thurman? Why should we fight Porter? They fixated on this Pacquiao shit. But that's cool if you get the Pacquiao fight, but it's been 5 years. When can I expect the Pacquiao fight? You see what I'm saying? Bro, you're not seeming like you're closer to the Pacquiao fight. That's the problem. If you were actually getting a Pacquiao fight, then yeah, that's a great fight. But it's been years and you just keep getting fed the same Pacquiao is coming.
So make sure you
Listen.
It's real simple. Keep this. Tell Keith this. Tell Keith this, and I'm sure you hear this interview. Think about it. Was he screaming, "Don't want to fight Terence Crawford"?
This is a Bomac, his manager and trainer, August 14th interview from Crawford's own manager and trainer.
I want to fight when
This is after Keith Thurman called him out.
Terence Crawford decided to move up to 147. I tell Terence to go get a belt or do this or do that. Come on, now he don't have a title. Now he over there down in wherever the fuck he at in Florida crying about a buzz getting under his nerves and shit. If anybody should be getting under his nerves is Pacquiao, because that's the one to whoop your ass last. You know what I'm saying? But now he want to start screaming, "Oh, I want to fight Terence Crawford. I want to fight Terence Crawford." Yeah, it's easy to say that, and we all know that. But how would the fight get made? If they can't make the fight with what's the boy name?
Errol.
The boy that got to that accident. Errol. If they can't make the fight with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, what makes you think they're gonna make the fight with Keith Thurman and fucking Terence Crawford?
let me jump in.
Yeah,
Let me jump in.
Do all that. He can cry and go ahead.
But don't you think because things are more in your favor, slightly the favor?
So it don't make us no different with the opportunity or anything like that, or when it presents itself, or whatever the case got to be. Just think about it, y'all. Everybody up and up because he's talking all that shit now. But is Bob gonna sit down with? What's his name? What the boy name is? Al Heyman and shit to try to get that. Yeah, is he gonna sit down with them to get that fight made? These fights, Terence is fighting. It got to have meaning to these fights and shit. Keith Thurman don't got no damn belt.
Bro, his own trainer and manager, Bomac, said, Keith Thurman, we don't care about him. He ain't got no belt because he had just lost to Pacquiao. He said, Keith Thurman ain't got no damn belt. Crawford got to fight fights with meaning. It has to have a meaning. But after this interview was recorded, he fought Kell Brook. So you honestly mean to tell me that in 2020, Kell Brook, as a fight, holds more weight and meaning than Keith Thurman, who called you out, and you acknowledge that he called you out? Okay. Bro, the most dangerous thing is a camera and a microphone. Listen.
Do we? No, he ain't even ready to fight, mate. These fights, Terence is fighting. It got to have meaning to these fights and shit. Keith Thurman don't got no damn belt. Do we? No, he ain't even ranked in the top 5 in the welterweight.
He just said Keith Thurman ain't a top 5 welterweight. I'm done. You see what I'm saying? That's not rational. It's not rational. If you're a champion, you can't be ranked. There's nobody in the welterweight that is ranked top 5 more than Keith Thurman that's not a champion. He just said Keith Thurman ain't got no belt, which he didn't because he lost to Pacquiao. But he also said Keith Thurman ain't ranked in the top 5. But somehow PBC gets blamed for all of this. Bro, nobody that Crawford fought after Jeff Horn had a belt. Amir Khan, Mean Machine, Kell Brook. How would Kell Brook have a welterweight belt if he hadn't fought at welterweight in 3 years, and the last time he fought was Errol Spence and he got stopped? So he clearly didn't have a belt either, and they still made the fight. Told you. So like now we're starting to put this together.
Terence won't to clear the division out. And who got the 2 belts left? Pacquiao and Errol Spence. And those are the 2 fights that Terence won. It's real simple. Why would I waste my time or even sit down and say, man, we should fight that motherfucker? Man, fuck all that shit.
He said, why would I waste my time with a Keith Thurman? He want two guys, Pacquiao or Errol. Why would I sit down with these other guys and waste our time and even negotiate, basically? Fuck all that. But even if that's your standpoint, you want to clear the division, you're not in the power or position of leverage to make that happen. So you have to stay active. The other issue with that is how can you possibly turn down Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, and Danny Garcia's, but Kell Brook in 2020 with two fractured eyes and a stoppage loss? It was his last welterweight fight, and he told you he was depressed and drinking in between the Errol Spence loss and the Crawford fight. You made that fight, and that's the fight they want credit for. It's not making sense, yo. You just shitted on Keith Thurman. He ain't got no damn belt. No one you're fighting has a belt. Jeff Horn had a belt and shouldn't have had a belt because he lost to Pacquiao. Oh.
Look, going to camp for 2.5 months and shit, and then going all through all of that, all finding sparring partners. I'd rather waste my time. I'd rather waste my time. Be quiet. I'm on the phone. I'd rather waste my time doing that looking for some sparring for Pacquiao or Errol Spence.
So he said we don't want to go to a training camp for them other guys. It need to be worth it for Errol Spence or Pacquiao. Even if that was your standing point, you went to a training camp and went to Colorado Springs or whatever for Kell Brook. So what's the difference between doing it for Porter or doing it for Keith Thurman? The walls have closed in, people. It's over. None of this stuff makes sense. We got to draw the line in the sand. You said you only want to go to a training camp to clear out the division, Errol and Pacquiao. I get that. But if that is the case, you had to go through a training camp to prepare for Kell Brook. So what's the difference between doing it for Sean Porter, Danny, or Keith Thurman, or you guys? Somebody who's actually been looking good in their last 3 fights, you know? But you can prepare for Kell Brook. So once again, Team Crawford is having everyone else do the heavy lifting, and they want to cut in line and just get the Errol Spence work and get the Errol Spence paycheck and get the Pacquiao paycheck and then put pressure on the media to call for that. I ain't calling for this shit. Now, at this point, it's all on Errol. But I'm starting to believe that I need to see another fight before I see the Errol fight, because I need to see how these other fights play out. Keith Thurman or Porter versus Crawford. I need to see that, because now that they keep doing this and saying this stuff, I'm starting to wonder, don't just cut the line and then they expedite to Big Fish Errol. Let's see how you do with Errol's leftovers, Sean Porter. Let's see how you do with a guy that ducked Errol, in my opinion, but is still a great fighter, Keith Thurman. So now I don't even want to see the Errol fight, because I'm feeling like there's other fights to be made. And then if you get past that soundly, you'll make a bag with that. And then the Errol fight becomes bigger. That's the type of time I'm on. So we're going to see. But this is very eye-opening. How can you dismiss? And then that's this August interview from Bomac is now explaining the culture of how Team Crawford thinks. Now I can understand why Crawford is later, a week before or the week of Errol Spence, Danny Garcia fight week. Now I understand why he's like, oh, Danny ain't really beat nobody. Oh, Keith Thurman only beat, Porter lost all his big fights. And they just trying to get the Pacquiao Errol fight. It don't work like that. Errol Spence been calling out Pacquiao too. He deserves it more than you based on what he's done at welterweight. Am I wrong? How does Crawford deserve Pacquiao more than Errol Spence? First of all, Errol Spence and Pacquiao share one thing in common. They both headlined AT&T Stadium and packed it out 2 times. Crawford has never done that. So that's a great fight with 2 southpaws, and we know they can pack out the AT&T Stadium if crowds are back. We don't know Crawford's numbers, but we know they don't compare to Errol's numbers. Like I said, Crawford was at Errol's fight. So like I said, you guys could keep trying to go against me. It's looking bad. I need to see Keith Thurman or Sean Porter, possibly even a Ugas and Crawford, before I ever see Errol Spence and Crawford. And if anything, that will hype up the fight. If he sleeps Sean Porter, if he sleeps Pacquiao, not Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, that's something that Pacquiao didn't do to Thurman. That's something Errol didn't do to Porter. Danny didn't do to Porter, right? Danny didn't do to Keith. So that will build the Errol fight. But the urgency that we're seeing from Team Crawford to just expedite it straight to the big fish, big pond, Pacquiao or Errol, the top breadwinner cash cows, has me wondering. So I don't even want to see those fights straight away. I really don't. And I'm not going to push for that because I feel like how do you get to so Errol gets in a car accident, flies through a windshield, gets new teeth, hits the asphalt, has to rebuild like the, $6 million man, goes through physical therapy, and he still comes back and fights someone that's consensus tougher than the guys that Top Rank is giving Terence Crawford. But Terence Crawford gets the hopper pass from Disneyland so he don't have to wait in the line. And he go to ride where Splash Mountain, the line is fucking long as hell in the dead of the summer. And Crawford just get a hopper pass for beating Jeff Horn. Because that's how he became a champion. It's looking shaky. And I do think Crawford is a great fighter. But it's looking shaky. How's he get the Willy Wonka gold ticket? How's he get the Disneyland hopper pass off of this level of competition? Some dudes are solid, but you can't live off the 135 and 140 accomplishments. That's part of your legacy, but you're trying to fight Errol at 147. Errol wasn't at 35. He wasn't at 40. So those are part of your individual journey to get to where you've been. That don't have nothing to do with Errol. You see what I'm saying? That's who you were. You don't get like Pacquiao. Pacquiao is the fighter that covered the most ground in terms from this weight class to that. As males, he went up 8 weight classes. Floyd was still the A side over him. So I don't understand this logic from Team Crawford that because they climbed more divisions, that the popularity of Errol, the ticket sales of Errol, the venues being packed out, his events being more lit and bigger, him having 2 belts, you came up in more weight classes. You think you the A side off of that only? Come on, bro. That's not even how that works. Pacquiao climbed 8 weight classes, but he was still the B side to De La Hoya, who climbed 6, I think. So why wasn't Pacquiao the A side versus De La Hoya? De La Hoya only climbed 6 weight classes. Pacquiao, he beat everybody. He climbed 8. No other male has done that. The only person in the females, Serrano. See, I know my boxing. Come test the knowledge. I know my boxing. So Pacquiao, there was times he was the B side. De La Hoya. I don't remember the Cotto fight. I don't know who was the A side. It might have been one of them. But Floyd Mayweather. Pacquiao climbed more weight classes than everybody. You see what I'm saying? So just because Crawford came from a smaller weight class, that don't make you the A side. Like, what type of logic is this? What type of logic is that? So if Teofimo go from 35 to 40 to 47, he the A side over Errol because he climbed 3 weight classes and Errol been parked at 147. I mean, what type of stupid shit is this? Listen, I'm going to say it again. If Teofimo Lopez moved up over the next year and things are going how they've been going for Errol, that means Teofimo would have climbed 135, 140, and 147. So he's the A side. He's the A side because he moved up 3 weight classes. See, this is like some top rank conditioning. They're like, oh, we'll put you on the pound for pound list, or you climb more weight classes, so you the man. That's not how it works. A side don't got nothing to do with just that. Errol's doing ticket sales. You're going to Errol's fights. He's not going to your fights, right? Errol's putting money in the bank. Errol's on pay-per-view. You couldn't even put half of Crawford's welterweight fights on pay-per-view. Bro, every fight in the last 3 fights for Errol has been pay-per-view. If you did Crawford's last 3 fights on pay-per-view, flop. This is the harsh reality. This is how you've been branding. This is what you and your networks and promotion have done for you. Put Crawford's last 3 fights on pay-per-view, numbers are going to be trash. Mean Machine on pay-per-view. I dare you to put fucking Mean Machine and Crawford. And they tried pretty well to load the card up. I dare you to charge $75 for that. I dare you to charge $75 and see what boxing do. Because you tried it with the Khan and it wasn't even $75 and the numbers were still trash. See, I know boxing. Y'all know that, right? The Crawford Khan fight did abysmal and it wasn't even at a $75 price point. I don't know what Errol Spence's numbers, what Danny's going to do in the pandemic, but all I know is Crawford Khan wasn't even $75 the asking price, and it's still tanked. See, that's what they don't tell you. I'm telling you shit they don't want to tell you. His shit was like $49.99, $60 or something. So a little bit cheaper, and it's still flopped. So can you imagine Benavidez and Crawford on pay-per-view? That's why they're not doing it. That's why Bob's frustrated. Man, stop playing with me. I told everybody in the game, stop playing with me when it comes to this boxing knowledge. Why you think they don't put them on pay-per-view? If you could do it, you could do it. Because they can't. And you know that. B-side. Checkmate.